Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another glorious edition of Crime and Sports.
Of course.
Oh, we're so excited to be here. Hope you enjoyed last week and all the previous weeks. We've had some crazy episodes lately, and this week we have a crazy episode. Whenever you see it's an MMA fighter and you've never heard of him, trust me, that's a really good episode. Usually, those are the ones where you're like, they've done crazy shit. Why else would we be doing them? No, otherwise it's not gonna. What's the draw? Otherwise, you know what I mean. So
he had to have earned the reason to talk about
exactly, and he really does. He lives up to his nickname. Very rarely do people live up to their nicknames in sports, and he lives up to his nickname. It's pretty good stuff here. But before we get into that, just want to thank everyone for everything they've done for us this week. Their reviews, number one, on Apple Podcast, that purple icon. We don't understand why they help, but they help. They help drive us up the charts, and that really helps on the business end. So if you want to help the podcast out, that's a really good way to do it. You can just go to Apple Podcasts, purple icon there, give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions. These guys made me. It doesn't matter. Also, I think Stitcher, those reviews help a lot too. Seems to. So get on that too, and we appreciate that and everything you do for us. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs. All sorts of stuff there. New merchandise up all the time, and now you're going to see tons and tons of dates for next year. All the dates are up. We're going to give a full list of dates and cities at the end of the show. There is only one Crime and Sports next year. It's already sold out in Nashville, but we're actually planning in this list that we're going to give you. We don't know which ones, but there's going to be a couple Crime and Sports in there that aren't going to be small town murders. So we will tell you that at the end of the show, give you the full list of dates. So stay tuned to the end for that. That really helps out a lot there. You guys can get it, and we can see you at the shows. So that would be nice. Also here, if you want to do even more, you can do that. If you want to be a producer of the show, one of the people we're going to gush about at the end and just say how wonderful they are, you can do that very, very easily by going over to patreon.com/crimeandsports or head over to PayPal there and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And you can get to those places. Where, Jimmy?
Over at shutupandgivememurder.com.
Holy shit, right on the button. Let's do this. We are delirious.
Sometimes travel will do that to you.
Punchy episodes to a punchy unknown MMA fighter. You know it's going to be wild because I got off a plane an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, off a very, very turbulent flight from Chicago over some storms where I'm just not in great shape for this. And it's been an interesting day. No Wi-Fi, so I'm struggled to put this episode together. And but we got it. We're here, damn it. We're going to do it, and it's so worth it.
Bumpy tube rides are always scary. I hate that so much, just because I hate flying in the first place. And
it's not happy
and then it's
about
bumpy?
It. Yes.
Fuck out of here.
Thank you, everyone in Chicago, by the way, that came out to see Small Town Murder. Awesome, 970 of you amazing people. That was really, really cool. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for everything. Milwaukee, too. That was a great show, too. You guys are really drunk there, though.
Holy shit.
I don't know if anyone's told Milwaukee yet, but maybe tone down the drinking a drop.
I don't know if anybody's
just a drop,
told you, but,
just about 10%. Not a lot, because we want you to be you.
Two drinks less.
But 2 drinks less makes you not yell things in a fucking place where you shouldn't be yelling things, and then have me and Jimmy have to yell at you and mock you and make fun of you.
I don't want to make fun of you guys.
Well,
we
did.
We
made fun of some of them. I got to tell you, that happened. Lousy bastards, but never mind. No, we had a good time. Milwaukee was fun. Good food there too. They like their cheese
and meat
Yeah, they'll pile of.
I had corned beef hash that was 2 pounds of corned beef and 7 potatoes. It was so much
little diced potatoes of 7 of them.
You could literally count the potatoes that were in their quote unquote hash.
Well, that's Milwaukee for you there.
So much
and
beef.
Just a cup of cheese for no reason. Why is this here? I don't understand it.
Just in case.
Curds are a side dish there.
Right.
It's not a. They offer cottage cheese as a side dish in a bar.
What the fuck?
They go fries, rings, or cottage cheese. We're like, huh? What the hell are you talking about?
That's our healthy option.
Yeah. So you're going to have a beer and some cottage cheese? What the?
Gross.
What a weird place.
Oh, fuck.
Let's get down to business.
Vomit-inducing. I thought we were trying to keep this shit down.
No. They're trying to. They just want to destroy the city's plumbing and sewage lines.
Christ.
They must have extra. They must be extra dense and healthy there, the sewage lines. Well, double them up. What do we do? 2 feet? Make them 8 feet. We'll just we got to be able to fit a car in there, basically, because you never know what these people are eating. Holy shit.
Can I get you a Miller Lite and 2 ounces of cottage cheese?
It's just meat and cheese. You got to expand it. It's too much.
So much.
Let's get down to business.
Great.
What do you say here with our gentleman of the evening here, which makes him sound like a prostitute. Here he is, Justin Levens. I'm sure you've never heard of him. No. Maybe you have, because he was briefly in UFC. Briefly in UFC, but I don't know. You'd really have to be a UFC
I'd have to know
aficionado.
The fight he fought. If somebody showed me the fight, maybe.
Yeah. But his name is Justin the Executioner Levens.
Oh.
So there you go. So that's a good one. It's a good nickname for any fighter or
I think there's a few of those.
There's a lot of them. I mean, forever. That's almost like it's like Sugar.
Right.
The Executioner.
Shouldn't they retire him? I think they should.
A lot of Sandmans, a lot of like things like that.
They
People
should
put you to
retire
sleep.
him like the number. You know what I mean?
Like a number,
jersey numbers.
Hang like a banner that says the Executioner from the ceiling of Madison Square Garden.
Get rid of this shit.
Sugar.
Right.
Just dangling in the
Ray
breeze.
Leonard exists. Nobody else.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Well, never. But Ray Robinson existed fucking first.
Right.
So there's been a lot of Sugars. But
you know what I mean.
Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard should have never been Sugar. He was only Sugar Ray Leonard because he's Sugar Ray Robinson.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Sugar Ray. Those two
no more
together.
Sugar Rays.
Never again.
No, I don't think anyone would now.
They would.
I bet you anything. Sugar Ray Leonard is litigious and has that shit trademarked. So I doubt they can now. Because Sugar Ray Robinson was like he had a tough end of his life. He wasn't getting into like legal battles and going to Washington
Didn't
with trademarks.
Have the money for it.
I don't think he just had the wherewithal for that shit.
Right.
But Sugar Ray Leonard is like, I could make some money off of this shit. I'm going to be Sugar Ray. No one can name their candy shop Sugar Rays. Nothing. So I believe he's smart. So his date of birth here is April 18th, 1980. Mm-hmm. So he's not an old guy, not a young guy here. Now Justin, he's got a brother Tim, and they kind of grow up together. They're not that similar when they get older, but as children they kind of run together. Now their backstory is, it's one of these backstories that whenever I hear, I'm always a little questionable of it just sounds like it's a good thing to say, and it's a good origin story for a guy like him. I feel like for him to say it. He says that him and his brother say that they grew up in Philly, and they said they were the only white kids around. They're in the Philly projects. They're the only white kids there. So they learned how to fight because people picked on them, right? Yeah. So whenever I hear that, it's always like, I don't know. I always think people are full of shit when they say that.
Too.
It's for some reason
I lean on bullshit.
I always feel like there's like 3 black kids in their class,
right?
And they were like, I was the only white kid around. It's one of those deals. I don't know, but I could be completely wrong. Obviously, I don't know, but I'm always my fur's always up a little bit when I hear that. I'm like, I don't know about that. I kind of arched eyebrow there.
In 1980, well, not 80, because he would have been
in the 80s in Philly. Philly was a rough
in the 90s,
rough place. We're talking like where Fresh Prince got beat up at the playing shooting some b-ball down.
He was a black guy.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, that's this era here. Right. So if it's true, it would be tough going, I'm sure. But
who knows?
I didn't see any white kids in the Summertime video, is all I'm saying. From back then. Right. That's what I mean. So
parents just don't understand with a lot of white kids, too. Or black kids, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, you know what I'm saying. So, him and his brother Tim, were very much into boxing and professional wrestling, which is funny because, they're just watching, if you're from Philly in the 80s, you're watching WWF on Spectrum. Right. You got Dick Graham. They had this announcer from the 80s. Don't ask me how I know this. It's all these goddamn people, wrestlers Bachelors we've done, you watch these like shows from like, they would broadcast locally, like from the Philly Spectrum. They'd broadcast it just in Philly on the Prism channel, which was that t-shirt.
Right.
So they had this announcer named Dick Graham, right? He's this old guy. There's like 5 people that are going to know what I'm talking about, but he's this older guy, and he was real excitable about everything. And he didn't like call matches. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, a big body slam, look at that. And he'd just go, woo! Over and over.
They just mic'd a guy that's watching things?
He'd literally go, whoa, woo! Like if you played a drinking game by the 3rd match, everyone would be on their faces and you'd need an ambulance because he's just like, woo, everything that happens, woo! Like it's like, but not like a Ric Flair woo even. Right. It's just like this like, woo, look at that, woo! Like that's not good announcing.
That was really something.
You're not telling. You're the play-by-play. Play-by-play guy doesn't go woo. They tell you what happened, and then you go woo. That's what
you got to describe it like I'm blind.
Yeah,
come on, Mr. Graham.
He grew up with that basically.
Unbelievable.
So, they would like every kid, like me and my cousin Jesse did. They practiced on each other and fucking let me put the figure 4 on you and shit like that. Right. Like every kid did that. I'm going to jump off the couch on you and give you the flying elbow smash. It's just normal kid shit. They were rough kids. They were like to fight and everything like that. They said that they were always busting the house up because they were like rough kids.
Just the 2 of them?
Yeah, just the 2 of them. Just like busting the house up. His brother said, quote, "We became very good at repairing holes in the walls." So just popping drywall left and right.
Mom and Dad got home?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. It's not a great family situation either.
Oh.
We'll talk about here. Now, he says he never really knew his father, but his parents got divorced when he was 4. So,
okay.
I guess some people don't remember that early.
Yeah, but even more still, the point of I don't know my father when you're 4, he sure doesn't relate
he doesn't
to
know.
him.
They weren't hanging out having beers together like, Dad, tell me about the world.
Right. He doesn't know shit about this guy.
What mistakes did you make in your early 20s that you think you could pass along to me that maybe I can avoid? I don't think they were saying that.
I'm 3 right now.
Dad, let me ask you something.
Help a brother out.
One of those cigarettes? Thank you very much. No, I have a lighter. I'm good. Click. Let me ask you. So, Dad.
Right. What do most girls like? Tell me more about that.
Tell me about that here. Technically, how does a vagina work? Because I've seen one once, but I was a passing.
I only know the inner workings. If you could tell me the outer workings, that'd be nice.
I can tell you all about uteruses like you wouldn't believe. I'm an expert.
You ever seen a fallopian tube, Dad?
I have.
Just 3 years ago.
I remember it. So yeah, he said his friend of his that he grew up with later on that he knew says that Justin was always a guy that said that a lot of people let him down in his life. Like he's that kind of. He always says that. He does have a stepdad later on, and so that his mom gets remarried. He has ADHD, which is another issue for him. So he's kind of hyperactive and physical and angry. And when you add hyperactive, physical, angry, and if he grew up and if you're poor also, and you're getting picked on at the same time, you're gonna, that's a guy who might learn how to fight and might want to.
The abandonment issues in the first place with Dad being gone.
Absolutely. So there's all sorts of shit like that. He tells everybody that he was on his own from the time he was 15. Basically, he was on his own. His mother and his stepfather, they eventually moved the kids out to California from Philly, which sounds like a goddamn dream.
Yeah,
they moved to Newport Beach, which.
What?
That sounds way better than Philly. No offense, Philly. We love Philly, but Jesus Christ, if you're a kid and you're growing up in a poor area in Philly and someone goes, want to go to Newport Beach? Fuck yeah, I do.
I got the only question of living in Philly in a rough neighborhood, and then all of a sudden did her mom win the fucking lottery?
Well, her mom got married. Yeah. So I don't know if maybe the stepfather.
Oh, he had some cash?
I don't know if maybe the mother and the stepfather together were able to pool it together to pull themselves out of this or what.
Fucking expensive.
Yeah, it wasn't. Maybe not in the early 90s.
It can't have just turned around because that place is beautiful.
It is, but if there's an outskirt, there's a shitty apartment complex too.
Yeah.
Slums of Beverly Hills. Have you never seen that movie? There's always. You never saw Slums of Beverly Hills? Jesus Christ, Jimmy! You uncultured swine.
What am I going to fucking?
It's a good movie. It's
fantasize of living there poor.
No, it's a funny fucking movie.
Okay.
It's got Alan Arkin in it. It's about growing up. It's about growing up poor in the 70s in California, and the father mother would move them from shitty apartment to shitty apartment so they'd stay in a good school district. And it's a fucking funny movie. It's really Marissa Tomei's tits are in it, so there you go. You should watch it.
I have to take a peek at that.
This is how I can get Jimmie to watch things. By the way, I'm not telling everyone that. I tell Jimmie it's got Marissa Tomei. He'll go home tonight and go, what was that movie again? Then he's and he'll fucking watch it.
Go to Alan Arkin's IMDb and just start scrolling.
All right,
there it is.
There it is. Slums of Beverly Hills. It's good. Natasha Lyonne, Alan Arkin, Marissa Tomei.
I love Natasha. She's great.
She's great. She's the star of the movie. It's all about. It's about her. It's about growing up, like being a kind of coming into her own as a young lady in the 70s. But it's really fucking funny and filthy and hilarious. Good shit. Yeah, good shit.
You've explained enough.
Good shit. I'm not telling you anymore.
You're better at the trailer than the trailer.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? So once he gets to California, he kind of gets convinced into. He's a real angry kid, as you might imagine. Yeah. He is, and he kind of gets talked into taking it and to fighting. Maybe you should go. There's gyms you can go fight rather than just rake up the drywall. Maybe you can go.
They brought an abandonment issue mean kid from Philly to fucking Newport Beach.
Yeah, with a bunch of blonde kids with money. Boy. So he's going to be really angry. Because he's not these kids. And
right.
There's a in that type of area. There's a real line between the haves and have-nots. Is that the haves have so much. So it's not like where I grew up, where like the kids who were like quote the rich kids, they weren't really rich. They were. It was a shithole. Everyone was pretty shitty. Yeah. So like the rich kids were, their house was a little bigger than ours. They had a 2,500 square foot house.
They
That's
had
the
newer
rich kid.
shoes more often.
That's what I mean. They weren't like wealthy. Nobody was driving them, dropping them off in Ferraris at school. We're talking. This is the level where people are very wealthy. There's some wealthy people.
So the guy that wrote MASH lives next door. Like that
that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So he also played baseball a lot here. He was a good baseball player, played for Capistrano Valley High School. So he was there. Now, they also say that he everywhere says this, but I don't know if this is true or if this is like lore that some MMA company. The problem with these MMA companies, and especially in the earlier 2000s and shit like that, before now it's a huge corporate thing. There's like UFC and then everything else is kind of underneath it, and it's gotten a lot more corporate. Back then there was just organizations popping up left and right, and they'd put on parking lot things, and like we talked about, like at the Jared Wyatt episode, it's casino parking lot with just a bunch of Aryan lunatics doing fucking Heil Hitler outside the ring and shit. You're like, what is happening? MMA's got there had a lot of really weird little pockets, especially back then. It was really, really strange. So I don't know if it was just like lore of one of these shitty companies. They said, say he played minor league baseball. Just say he's an athlete, but I can't find any record of any minor league.
Really?
But I mean, that's spotty. If he never made it to the majors, and if he wasn't in the minors for like 8 years, sometimes you're not going to find. If he came up, let's say he got signed, or they could say that he could have had a tryout. He could have played in a rookie camp somewhere for fucking 2 weeks, and they said he
show up anyway.
He played minor league baseball. It makes him sound good. He also joined the Navy, for a while.
For a while,
it's
usually 4 years.
Well, no, we're not sure. We're not sure. See, that's the thing. We're not positive he made it all the way through the Navy or not. It's kind of one of those things where we're a definite. Ambiguous ending to his naval career. Let's just say we're not quite positive how that happened.
I love when there's
he didn't end up an admiral. I'll tell you that much. Outside of that, that's the only thing I can guarantee you. I don't know if he ran away, got kicked out, honorably discharged when he should have been.
No ship's named after him.
No. Well, maybe. I mean, it hasn't been that long.
That's a good point.
I mean,
in 95, he was 15.
When did they name on after McCain? Like
it took a while.
Like the 2000s. He was like 70 years old before they. Yeah.
Was he may have been dead when they named it after. No, he wasn't.
No, that's been around for a while. They've had that one.
It just doesn't run very well.
Yeah. Well, his dad was a big shot anyway. So whatever. We're going to get into that. But so he joined the Navy for a little while. It's all very spotty what he did. Minor league baseball and some time in the Navy. That all sounds like. It sounds like with the backstory they'd give a wrestler, like back in the day, just like he was in the Navy and he's a minor league he's a real big athlete. Like just make some shit up,
Everybody just believes that blindly.
Yeah, who knows? And so I don't know. That's what I mean. Some company in 2004 or something could have just made that up, and then it got into the lore. And once it's on the internet and gets in a couple of his things, next thing you know, it's in every article.
It's also very believable. There's hundreds of thousands of people that were in the Navy.
Other thing. And then, and it's not like he was in the. How do you do that? Like you could just join the Navy. So you know what I mean?
Signed the paper and
he didn't say he graduated from Oxford. That would be like, wow, how do you get in there? You know what I mean?
Doesn't say he went to West
No, they have recruiting centers where you walk right in and you say, they will reject some people, but if you're pretty much, got it together and sane and everything, they'll just sign you right up.
You can run a mile,
put you right on a ship.
Hell yeah.
Send you right in, give you a uniform and everything.
No matter what your talent is, you can peel potatoes.
And that's believable. If they said he had a Purple Heart, that's something that is checkable, but just in the Navy, quote unquote, and minor league baseball, those are two very nebulous things that you can kind of
just claim them. James, I'd like to tell you something. I used to be a minor league baseball player.
Were you?
I wasn't in the Navy.
Wow.
But I was in the Army.
Who were you? I remember you saying you're in the Army. See, that's what I mean. You made it up. It's the same thing. Yeah. Anyone can. What'd you play? Catcher?
You got it.
You played catcher for
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
A rookie year, knee injury? That's what happens.
You're really good at this game.
Well, that's what happened to me. That's why. So I was just giving you my story, and I figured, you know what? That maybe that's common.
It's real common.
Because I was a minor league catcher, too. Blew out my knee.
Just as common as joining the Army.
That's what I mean. That was before my stint in the Navy. I said I was afraid they weren't going to let me in because of my knee. That was the problem. But the recruiter said it was no issue. Post 9/11 and all, and
I like the post 9/11.
You know how it works. It sounds believable.
Right after that, so many signed up.
If you're not, post 9/11, people are like, oh yeah, post 9/11. You could say that for about anything, and they're like, oh yeah, post 9/11. Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna start inserting that into every conversation.
You should,
Would you like cash back? Post 9/11.
Post 9/11, you should probably have cash on you, just in case. Just I suppose so. You could really put that anyway. You want to go out to dinner tonight?
Yeah,
post 9/11.
Get some food.
Yeah, get some because in the morning you never know what could happen. It could be.
That's a good one.
It's anything.
That's going to be so fun.
Post 9/11.
That's gonna spice up my week.
Yeah, you have to kind of shrug and be like, Jesus, it's an overwhelming. It's an overwhelming thing to say.
3 quick blinks in there.
That's it. Post 9/11. Obviously, you're going to just. I think did I get it? Was that perfect?
Nailing it.
Yeah, that's good. So, you know how it goes. Holy shit. So anyway, post 9/11 in the Navy, he gets a GED from high school also. Okay. He doesn't totally graduate, which I'm not going to hold against him, as you know, because of my history.
You too.
So, yeah.
Same.
It's fine. Yeah. I get it, dude.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So, wonder if his was a high honors also. Just still the funniest thing in the world. High honors.
You got a high honors GED.
A high honors GED. I did well on the test apparently because I just it's a long story, but I just basically didn't go to class the last couple months a year. I had other stuff going on, and so
high honors GED.
I wasn't an idiot, so I just took the test, and then 3 weeks later, I get this thing in the mail that says high honors GED in the high honors, and I'm like, high honors. My stepmom was like, high honors, and I'm like, don't be proud of that. And I say, don't be proud of that. That doesn't matter. High honors GED.
I think all that means is guy didn't want to go to high school, and he was right.
Yeah, it's like that's nothing to be proud of, man. That's awful. That's it. You're even dumber because you could have finished it and you didn't because you're an idiot. That's what that is.
Or you're extra smart because you
lazy.
Didn't need to be there.
Or I just didn't want to do math.
There's that too.
That, or show up a lot is the other thing.
That's hysterical.
There's stuff going on.
High honor. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I till I got it. It's in New York State. Apparently in 1996, you could receive a high honors GED. I have a high honors. It's the stupidest, most ridiculous thing. It's somewhere out there. I'm sure. I don't know if my dad still has it or whatever, but I didn't take it with me. I was like, I'm not going to need it. No one's going to ask to see my high honors GED at any point, I don't think.
If you have to click GED or Apple or
there's no option for high honors. I have a high honors GED. It's very prestigious. Don't you know that?
They may need to see it just so that they go, bullshit.
Yeah. Dude, the GED was not difficult. It really wasn't. It was basically like a test of 9th grade or shit. It was it wasn't hard. So really not a thing to be proud of. So it's after his, post 9/11. He's in the Navy and in minor league baseball because, post 9/11. Got his GED. He begins training kind of formally with different he's trying to find a martial arts style that he likes, and he's kind of experimenting with MMA as a style, kind of mixing the martial arts in there because we're talking 2002, post 9/11, 2002-ish. So it's not like 2003.
It's not huge yet.
It's not a refined thing like it is now. Right. Like now you see
it's a well-oiled machine.
Basically a UFC gym where it's like they train that style of different jiu-jitsu and fucking ground things and grappling. And it's a mixture of shit.
They found out guys at UPS also want to do this.
That's what, they want to wrestle with people and get staph infections also. So
they love MRSA.
On their filthy mouths, on their filthy mats. They
want to drop off my Amazon purchases with cauliflower ear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like that's a better thing. If you have a normal job and you're not trying to be a professional fighter, you should never have a cauliflower ear.
No.
You've done something wrong.
Like the Geek Squad should never have MRSA.
That's what I mean. Shoot some hoops on the weekend or something. What you're doing is too intense for you. It's too intense for you. But this was still back in the day where people came from very vastly different styles. It was still getting to the point where there was its own style of MMA. It was like there'd be, he's primarily a boxer and this guy's a grappler, so we'll see how this works out, So you get some awkward fights sometimes of, a dude just throwing jabs, trying to keep a guy away while he just keeps trying to leg dive him over and over again. Like,
so shitty.
Yeah, you get some of that sometimes, whereas you don't really see that now. No. And now it's more.
Now they certainly match them to what their strengths are.
Yeah, and it's more refined as far as their styles are more, you know what I'm saying.
They're looking for exciting fights.
That's what they want.
Because there's a lot of money in that.
If there's a lot of money in that, that's how you get people to watch. Right. And it's not like an experiment so much anymore. Like, what would happen if we put a bear and a wolf in the ring and then just let them fight? Who would win? I mean, one's faster, but one's stronger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, post 9/11, it's, you never know.
At the end, you either get a hat or a rug. Who knows? We're going to find out.
Either way, I mean, you could use it because, post 9/11, you could use a rug or a hat.
How cold it gets.
You never know. Could get cold. Yeah, post 9/11. So he begins training at Marco Ruiz's Vale Tudo. And we've had a bunch of these guys, the Vale Tudo guys.
Really?
That's their style of training here in Orange County. Okay. And he has Vale Tudo tattooed in thug lifestyle across his stomach.
Wait, who does?
Levens, Justin.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah, no, it's in that, the arcing thug life fucking style of Vale Tudo across his, on his stomach there.
This style of fighting is tattooed across his belly.
Rainbow Tupac style. Yeah. And
you don't see many people with ground and pound across their chest.
Wow, that would be really...
Not a lot of Muay Thai.
No, that's good. Yeah, Muay Thai.
Tattooed across their fucking
Maybe they do.
Section.
I don't know, but he does it, man.
He loves it.
Boom. Honest. And that's every picture I can see of him. It's on there. So I don't know when he got it, but it was early on, apparently.
Interesting.
Unless, there's not a lot of pictures from his early fights because they were
really tells the guy across the ring, though, what's coming at him.
Yeah, that's the other thing. What I mean? I know exactly what this guy's doing. So
really telegraphs it well.
Yeah, absolutely. So he said when they moved to California. Now his brother actually graduated from high school and everything like that. His brother didn't have like the ADD problems, or they were both kind of shitheads, but his brother matured more easily than Justin did. I think here. So it seemed to be like that. I love the different articles. A few years in the Navy, very. Just so...
That's all we're saying.
Navy. Yeah. By the way, a lot of information from this came from a really a good Vice.com piece that they did on him. It was like a two-parter.
Vice did?
Vice.com. Yeah, it was a fightland.vice.com, I think it was. Really, really excellent. I'll post on the thing the writer's name, too, because it was good shit. Gave a lot of inside information that I didn't find really any other places. A couple of things. So they deserve the credit for that shit. So he ended up... he's training with this Marco Ruiz. I don't know who he is. I'm sure I'm pronouncing his name wrong.
Ruiz?
R-U-A-S.
Oh, that's Ruiz.
Yeah, that's not.
Rouse?
I don't know.
I think it's Ruiz.
So Justin earns his black belt in this guy's,
thing.
Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I don't know what you call
garage
it.
gym?
In his garage or his gym. I don't know. Well, what are we going to call this?
I don't know. Is it his dojo?
His bubbling staff cauldron, whatever you want to call it. His bubbling MRSA cauldron, that sort of thing.
His rape escape training pit.
Yeah, how that works. This is how you don't get raped. All right, I'm going to teach you. So his mom and stepdad, which is a good skill to have, by the way.
Absolutely.
His mom and stepdad eventually moved to Colorado here, and his brother Tim goes with them. Not with them at once, but ends up moving there as well.
Okay.
And Justin stays behind because he's fighting, and he wants to be a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Got his black belt. He digs fighting, and he says maybe this is what to do here.
And given the choice between Colorado and Newport Beach, you fucking stay in Newport Beach.
If you can stay there, you stay there. And the fact that he wanted to be a professional fighter, his brother said of him, quote, "I was really proud of him doing something he really loved, something I'd never ever think of doing. Yeah. He's going to get to fight on TV and shit like that. His brother's impressed with that he's thinking outside the box. His brother Tim is more of a, graduate, get a job, you go to work, and you do stuff. Whereas Justin's like, maybe I'll let people beat the shit out of me for a living.
It's still work.
Which is it's work. I mean, it's a different path, though. Most people don't get, that's not in their sphere of possible professions coming up.
Because W-2s are better than 1099s, usually.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, that's the thing. So, 1999, I found some criminal shit on him here from the late 90s, early 2000s. 1999, he's arrested. I'm not sure what. I just found a criminal complaint that was he ended up pleading out on, but I can't find exactly what it is because the California records
the plea instead of the charge.
Yeah, they just say it's a criminal complaint. Okay. So it's not a traffic thing; it's a criminal thing.
Could have been theft.
Could have been anything. Yeah. I mean, could have been got in a fight in a bar. Who knows what the hell happened?
Could it be a criminal speeding ticket, like criminal
it's
traffic?
It's possibly reckless driving, possibly, but it's a criminal complaint. Either way, it's not a ticket.
Right.
He was in cuffs at some point here. So August 2001 and December 2001. Pre and post 9/11.
Yeah. Pre and
more traffic citations of him getting arrested for something, speeding. I think at this point he goes for a while here where he's just getting a lot of tickets and traffic shit. I don't think he probably doesn't have a license at this point, so he's probably just keeps getting pulled over. And you know how that goes here. Because then July 19th and July 30th of 2002, he has more traffic problems. Again,
2 weeks apart.
Gets arrested again a couple of times for traffic issues. So that's in 2 years, 4 different times. It's a lot of,
It's a lot of police interaction.
Yeah, if that happened now, he'd be on live PD constantly. Oh, it's Justin. There he is again. Oh, it's him he's got the 98 Camry. I know this guy. Okay. Justin, you have weed in the console, bro. Just tell him about it. They'll let you go with a ticket.
Can you update your IMDb if you're a recurring character on live PD?
You really should. You really should. There's some of that. You watch it sometime. Yeah. There's a guy from East Providence, Rhode Island, this homeless guy that's on there every episode. He's sleeping in a Chase Bank ATM fucking kiosk. He's
front.
Sometimes he's just walking around and he's foreign and sort of belligerent, and they come up to him. They're always really nice to him. They're always like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he's like, "I'm just walking around. Well, what? They're like, "All right, that's fine. You can walk around if you want. You want to go to the shelter or something?" And he's like, "I want to walk around. What are you doing? Leave me alone. What are you?" They're like, "Calm down, relax." They're just as nice to him as can be. They're not telling him he can't walk around.
Right. They're just asking him questions.
Hey, we'll walk around totally.
Right.
We're just saying if you need some help, if you're cold or something, we'll take you to the shelter. He's like, you leave me alone. I go, what's wrong with you? He's sleeping in how the bank will have
where you go to get in the ATM
between
enclosed,
the door.
right.
Yeah. So he somehow got in there. I don't know if he snuck in. I don't know how the fuck he got in there.
It's probably just open.
No, it was locked. It was fucking locked.
Really?
The cop couldn't get in there.
What if he locked?
He's just
from the other side.
That's what I mean. He's just in there sleeping, and the cop's banging on the door, knock, 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 and eventually he comes around, and the cop's knocking, and he's the guy's making gestures, Christ Almighty. He's putting his shoes back on. He's like, Jesus, what do you want from me? And the
I was
guy's
asleep, goddammit.
Yeah, the cop's like, you can't sleep in the ATM. He's like, I was sleeping in the ATM. He's angry at the cop.
We're telling you can't do it.
You can't do that.
But I was asleep.
Yeah, and they're like, you want to go to a shelter? He's like, I walk around. He's like,
no, I want to sleep in the ATM. You
fucking
jerk.
angry. Yeah, he'd be one of those guys on live PD.
That's a good dude.
Oh my God, they're so much fun. So he's 5'10", and he's about 205 pounds.
That's a lot of man.
It's a lot of dude, and he's a little pudgy.
Yeah.
He's a little pudgy around the mid. So he shouldn't be fighting at 205.
No.
You look at him and you go, that dude should be 180-ish, and that's what everybody kind of says. He's what other people have in muscle that adds that. He's just still got a little extra pudge on him that he could lose. So that's kind of the knock on him all the time is he's he doesn't seem to be in the best shape.
Okay.
And he's not like Dusty Rhodes or something, like one of those old wrestlers who could still run around for an hour.
Right.
You'll see his fights are very short, and that might be a part of it. Not a fat guy, but not cut like the guys are now. They all have six packs and shit, or they're powerhouses. One or the two.
Like Chuck Liddell. Chuck
That's
Liddell
what I mean.
was a pudgy fuck, but so brutal.
He's so sturdy.
Right.
This is a different type of thing. He's kind of in between that, where you feel like he should probably cut a little bit of weight and not have to fight guys that are that much heavier
Might be
than
better
him.
for your heart in the long run, too.
Well, yeah. Plus, if your extra 20 pounds is a little bit of pudge and someone else's extra 20 pounds is fucking steroid muscles, you're in deep shit. You know what I mean?
Mass.
Yeah, he's going to beat the shit out of you. Speaking of beating the shit out of, April of 2003 is his first real heavy run-in with the law here, where he is arrested for domestic violence. He's married at this point early on in his life, from what I found. I don't know what happens to this marriage, but it's not around.
It goes away
a little later.
But divorce sometime post 9/11.
I mean, post 9/11. I mean, a lot of divorces happen. I can understand that. In relationships, it's hard post 9/11. Post 9/11
it breaks your heart.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I got to tell my daughter to go with that because her birthday's like right after 9/11, or right before 9/11.
Yeah.
So I want to tell her to be like, I mean, everything changed post 9/11. She was a week old, or less than a week old.
Oh, she was born 2001 too?
She's born 2001.
Hilarious.
Yeah, she was born 4 days before September 11th. So her first doctor's appointment was on September 11th. We were like, do we go? It was super weird.
Is it still open?
Are they open?
Didn't the world just close?
Does everything close? I think the world's closed. I don't know if we can take her. It was weird.
Alan Jackson already has the song on the radio.
Oh, Christ.
I think the world stopped turning.
There was already country albums out with tributes, and
by 9 a.m.
There was hillbillies making hundreds of millions of dollars off of this tragedy immediately.
9 a.m.
Yeah, fucking Lee Greenwood was calling people a pussy from his house.
Right. Just had like a loudspeaker. He had a bullhorn from his couch.
From his couch, like, we got to fight. Well, not me personally, but other people.
I got to stay here to rob the troops.
Y'all should kill Arabs, is what I'm saying. I'll be here while you do that. Let me write a song about it.
I'm telling you, there's something wrapped around them.
That's right, goddamn it.
That's their ass.
It's going to be your ass, pal. Now...
That's my favorite end of a sentence.
That's your ass. It's a very southern statement there. You don't hear a lot.
It's damn specific,
yeah, it's
too.
Very
you know
specific.
What it means.
It's your ass. Yeah, that's southern white right there. That's a cracker threat. That's what that is. That's a real crackery threat. It comes with a finger point. Yeah. It's your ass.
It's your ass, boy.
Buddy. Give you a buddy, a pal.
Yeah.
Something like that.
A ba. It's not a boy.
Yeah.
It's ba.
Yeah, some shit.
Your ass, ba.
That's your ass. Right,
or Bubba.
Bub. Yeah, give you one of them. So this domestic violence must have been a thing, because he ends up pleading guilty to a charge of corporal injury in a domestic violence case. So he did something to his wife.
Something was swollen or bleeding.
Yeah, he pleads it down to a misdemeanor, though. So that's, I think it was originally a felony, and he pled down to a misdemeanor. So there's that. So that's kind of his first run-in with the law. So he's got some aggression issues, obviously. And May 30th, 2004, he finds a proper venue for his aggression, and that's a fight. It's his first actual pro fight here, and oh boy, it is at the Baby Rock nightclub in Tijuana.
What?
Yeah, they came
international right away.
They had to sweep out the donkey semen so the two of them could wrestle in the ring. So does that give you staff too? Right. That's why Akeem gets all that donkey semen. We got to fight other places. So they actually fighting in a fucking nightclub in Tijuana. Baby Rock nightclub, which I guarantee you there was naked women
Oh, for sure.
Putting things inside them or around this ring. It was part of the show.
No, they were just getting dressed from the previous show.
Right. Yeah, this is TC3, Total Combat 3. Okay. I don't know. Versus Hector Carrillo here. This guy is 1-2 coming in, a 5-7 career fighter, old Hector. This is a TKO at 2 minutes in round one. Okay. Justin knocks the shit out of this guy. Justin's a puncher. Yeah. He really, later on, he gets some submissions too, but his career's not that long, but all of his fights, as we'll find out, first round. There's only a couple fights his whole career that go past the first round.
He's trying to make somebody's head explode.
Yeah, he's trying to make a name for himself and go after people. June 22nd, 2004. So that's, 3 weeks later. He's at the Eagle Mountain Casino.
Where's that at?
Porterville, California.
Wow.
Now, I only know of Porterville. Have you ever heard of Porterville?
No.
The only reason I've heard of Porterville is because it's a small town that Hunter Thompson talks about in the Hells Angels book.
Okay.
It's one of the towns that the Hells Angels went through, and I can't remember if they tore that town up or if they just went through that town and everybody stared at them. Uh-huh. Yeah, Porterville, California.
It's in that Johnny Cash song.
Up in Northern California, where they have, outdoor MMA fights while people give Aryan salutes outside the ring like Jared Wyatt. Dude, remember I showed you the video of that Jared Wyatt fight where it was just in a parking lot somewhere in the woods in Northern California outside a casino, and it was just a bunch of fucking Nazis. Everyone around the ring was a Nazi. Yeah. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was fucked up, man. I've never seen a gathering it wasn't even like they weren't doing Nazi things.
No.
It was just like a Nazi social night out.
It was Nazis on their night off.
Nazis on parade.
Right.
Yeah. It was like, you know what it was? It was like their group is like, we should go out.
Right.
We should just all go out together.
We shouldn't just always do Nazi things.
We just gather and talk about Nazi things and the blacks and the Jews. I mean, let's do something. Let's bond. Let's have a team building experience. It's Nazi team building.
Like they're going to go ride golf carts together?
They did go-karts before this. They all went to the driving range.
Played laser tag a couple times.
They went out to a big lunch where they had trivia teams to bond. And then after that, they're going to go watch a fight. It's very nice. It's good. Jesus Christ.
Before their Secret Santa exchange.
Jesus God. What the fuck is happening? So this is Porterville. Our Gladiator Challenge 28. He fights Jeff Dowman. Jeff Dowman. He's 0-1 after this fight, because this is his only fight ever. This is his only career fight, and I don't blame him either, because Justin knocked him out with a kick at 9 seconds.
Ouch. That's fast.
That's basically...
It takes 3 seconds to throw that
They walked up to each other. He kicked him in the head, and that was the guy's whole career.
Yeah.
His career was 9 seconds long. If you're like, all right, I'm going to fight. That guy trained and had a whole game plan. Yeah. Literally, him and whoever he trained with, they had a game plan. You're going to go up. He's going to try this, and then you're going to do it. None of that shit happened. The second they walked out, he kicked him in the head, and his career was over. That's amazing.
I don't want to get kicked again.
Who the fuck wants to get kicked in the head to the point of being unconscious? That sounds crazy. So, good Lord, 2-0. That is for Justin. December 12th, 2004. Holiday time at the Eagle Mountain Casino is magical always.
Yeah,
always.
What day is
2004,
this?
December 12th.
Oh my goodness.
So holidays at the Eagle Mountain Casino. It's known for it, really. Yeah. I mean, there's certain places. You got Rockefeller Center with the tree. That's a big place you want to go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's different setups around the country. They have big nativity scenes. Sometimes we were just in Chicago. They had the thing in Wrigleyville with the ice skating rink and the Christ Kindle Market. All the lights, very cool. We were right across from it. Awesome, but none of them compare to the grandeur and the spectacle, really, if we're going to talk about it. Post 9/11 of the Eagle Mountain Casino Christmas extravaganza, as it goes. This is Gladiator Challenge 33.
Wow, there's 32 more.
They do them every month, because they had 28 in June, and then
this Gladiator Challenge then too.
Yeah, it was Gladiator Challenge 28 in June, and then now it's December and it's 33. They're working those things
every 3 weeks.
Yeah, he fights Mitch Nestor. Oh. Okay. He's an 0-1 fighter coming in, and he's an 0-4 fighter for his career.
Wow, he was terrible at this.
Yeah, this Mitch Nestor, not very good at this at all. This is a TKO with punches at 1 minute and 2 seconds of round 1. So far, his career is really, 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and then 1 minute and 2, so that's 11. So 3 minutes and 11 seconds, he's got 3 wins.
Wow.
So not too shabby.
That's impressive.
It's not bad. Yeah, he's beaten it. I mean, these guys aren't.
Guys, I mean,
0-4 career fighter, 0-1 career fighter.
Dare I call them pussies? But they have.
Yeah, they kick our asses.
They've been in rings more times than I have.
Yeah, they kick our asses, but they're not gonna beat someone who's good at it. Obviously,
maybe they wouldn't kick my ass though.
That's the thing.
None of them have really given him much of a fight.
And plus, by now too, they're all out of shape and shit. They're probably on fucking blood pressure medication and everything else.
Probably got CTE.
Just kick them right over out of the recliner at this point.
You know what? They are pussies.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Mitch Nestor. Bring it on, Mitch Nestor.
Come on by, Mitch. You're 0-4.
Let's go. Make it 0-6.
We've got the same amount of wins, brother.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. Just less concussions. So I'd say that's nod to us at that point.
I've got the edge.
We win. Right. Good job. So that's 3-0. Later this month, he's arrested for more traffic issues. So I don't know what his deal is. He needs to clear up his tickets or something, but I don't know how much money he's getting paid at the Eagle Mountain Casino.
You think a couple $100?
Maybe he can hit on the Wheel of Fortune slot on the way out and fucking double it.
See if you can make some real cash.
Yeah, literally, I think he's probably making $100. Yeah, I would say in this because MMA total, they have his career earnings at $10,000. So career. Well, we'll get into this here. January 22nd, 29th, 2005. He's back in Tijuana at the Baby Rock nightclub. Jesus Christ, this is Total Combat 7 now. He's fighting Eber Solito. Eber, E-B-E-R. I don't know what that, or Heber.
It might be.
Let's give him a French pronunciation. It's Heber Solito. Makes him sound like a poet then, doesn't it?
It might be that, though.
You mean the Heber Solito? If I said that to you, you'd be like, yeah, the South American composer, Heber Solito. You'd be like, okay.
Of course.
I think I've heard of it.
I blindly believe you. In post 9/11 world.
Post 9/11, he was in the Navy for a couple years, obviously. Post 9/11, you know how that goes, so... a little minor league baseball, but after that he became the famous South American composer Heber Solito. Obviously,
he's so recognizable that you can drop the Solito very much like Madonna.
Just Heber,
yeah,
that's good. It's good stuff.
So recognizable.
Now Heber comes in at 0-2, and finishes off his career at 0-4
again.
So again. Not a real powerhouse on the circuit here.
This man's 4 opponents don't have a win between them.
Yeah, they do. One guy the first guy he fought was 1-2 coming in.
Okay, so there's one.
Finished his career 5-7. So coming in though, it's all he's got like 1 and a bunch of
zeros.
A bunch of nightclub fighters. So these guys might have just been picked out. They were drinking at the bar and like, write down Heber, and they just put him in there. This guy's 0-4 in his career.
We should be surprised that MMA gained any traction and made anything out of itself when people were going to... You ever heard of anybody going to Tijuana with a legitimate cause?
No. We're going to go watch a really good fight.
No.
You'd go to Tijuana and you'd be like, we're going to watch a fight. You'd be like, what, are they allowed to stab each other down there? That's the only...
Do they give the girl a knife now?
Yeah.
And hop the donkey up on fucking Viagra?
What are they allowed to do down there that they're not allowed to do in San Diego? Let me ask you that.
Give the girl a knife. What
are they doing?
Hype the donkey up on Viagra. I don't know what's going to happen, but somebody's for sure getting stabbed.
There's no other reason to have anything down in Tijuana unless it's nefarious of some kind.
Exactly.
No offense to Tijuana, but it's fucking Tijuana.
No offense to Tijuana, but all the offense to Tijuana.
It's covered in semen. What do you want from me? Donkey, people, anything. It's just there.
It's just a bad place.
It's gross. So this is the main event of this card. That's the type of card we're dealing with right here.
Lord.
We're dealing an 0-2 guy and a 3-0 guy are the main event.
Right.
And this is a TKO with punches at 53 seconds of the first round. So that's the main event. You watch your undercard to get to this to watch a less than 1 minute fight.
Right.
Terrific. So,
but our hero of that has 5 minutes of fighting in his career. Four right
and
now.
Change. 4 minutes and a
not
little,
even 5 minutes.
Yeah, not even 5.
He hasn't even been fighting for a cigarette break yet.
No, fuck no. No, he hasn't even gotten his 5. He's just barely fought, for Christ's sake. So he's doing well. That's the thing. He's still not in great shape at this point either. He still hasn't gotten that done, but the guys he's fighting suck too.
He's got no incentive to.
No, the guys, it sucked too. And like we said, this is 2004, 2005. There was still a lot more kind of renegade underground. Yeah. I bet there's a lot of them going on now, but...
they're probably not near as fun as those would have been.
There's I don't know how I don't know if it's just a Nazi social outing now where you're like just interesting to watch the YouTube video, not even the fight, just what's going on outside the ring.
They're just comparing tattoos.
Look at these guys. Jesus Christ. My Iron Cross is bigger than yours.
Yeah, but my swastika's in an eagle's claw.
Oh, he's got swastika envy, this guy. That's what it is. His swastika's not as good as his, so he's very upset about it. His SS fucking bolts aren't as fucking prominent as the other guys.
Those are backward. Those are Z's.
Look at you.
Did you do those in the mirror yourself?
Yeah, that's Jesus Christ. Awful. So March 13th, 2005, he's back in Porterville at the Eagle Mountain Casino fighting for this is the Gladiator Combat 35 Cold Fury. Yeah. They gave it a name. I hate these fucking names of these MMA cards.
Zero creativity.
Cold Fury. What does that mean? And Well,
that means nothing.
Great. Cold. Let's words that sound tough, like fighting. So he fights Tosh Cook. The man's first name is Tosh.
Tosh?
Tosh Cook.
Yeah.
Tosh Cook, who's a 5-3 career fighter.
Two mash-up comedian names.
That's what it is.
Tosh and Dane Cook.
Yeah, two mash-up annoying comedian names. Perfect. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. That's a guy I want to fight. I want to fight Tosh Cook. If you morph those two into one person, that's a highly punchable individual right there. Tell me that's not a highly punchable person. Holy shit.
That's basically 2000s comedian and 2010s comedian.
Yeah.
Mash their names together. You got a fighter that you want to beat the fuck out of.
You got a guy yelling rape jokes. That's what he would be. Running back and forth across the stage.
In an inflection that he gets away with it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
We have flown too long this weekend. This is what happens. We get delirious and then we're making up people. We made up Tosh Cook.
Poor Tosh.
He exists, Tosh Cook, but we made a different thing out of him.
A much worse person.
Yeah, we made him punchable. Well, good. We can root for Justin in this fight. Come on, Justin. Well, Justin, this fight goes 3 minutes and 56 seconds.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is
doubled his career at this minute.
Pretty much doubled his career. Yeah, he wins with a submission. Triangle choke this time. Expanding his game a little bit here, not just pummeling people into unconsciousness.
Not for nothing, but bad rape jokes will make you want to choke somebody.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. He was like, just yelling rape joke. He's like, I'm going to choke the fuck out of that guy. I really have a good way to do it. So 5-0 he comes to. Now, May 19th, 2005, he's at the Palace in Lemoore, California.
Jesus.
I have no fucking idea where Lemoore, California is.
And why they have a palace.
And why they have I assume it's a casino.
Of course it is.
It's a casino. Yeah. Lemoore, California. I'm sure it's northern somewhere rural. Yeah. This is World Extreme Cage Fighting, which that's kind of a legit. Yeah. They have cards.
We've had them a lot.
Yeah, everybody. That's kind of like it seems like AAA.
Yeah.
That. They always go to the UFC from there, and then when their UFC's done with them, they're back in World Extreme Cage Fighting.
Dana and whoever was before him certainly had their eye on that place.
Yeah. So World Extreme Cage Fighting 15, the name of it.
Oh boy.
Judgment Day.
Fuck yeah.
How many MMA cards were called Judgment Day, do you think?
It's not
100. I mean,
after Terminator, stop it.
I mean, post 9/11, it makes sense. I get it.
Post 9/11, we got to start over.
Yeah, got to start over.
The timeline begins again.
Yeah, this is a guy that he fights an experienced fighter here, a guy named Tony Kryptonite Lopez. This guy will finish his career at 61-30.
Wow,
this guy fights for a long time, and his last fight was December of 2018.
Really?
So he's fought up until a year ago. This guy was fighting, and he was fighting in 2005. So
how do I not know who that is with that many fights?
Because he never
did. He stay in this bottom?
I don't know.
Shit?
I'm sure maybe he bounced up and down, but it seems like a kind of a journeyman type of guy here, jobber.
Yeah.
It seems like he would be, for lack of a better term. He wins. Justin wins with a submission, rear naked choke again in round 1. So he's doing well here. Yeah. It's not bad. That's two
jobber implying it's fake, James. How dare you?
Well, I mean,
go on. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure he can kick his ass. Give him the fucking bum and pretend it's a main event.
Right.
So it works. It's kind of the same thing, you know. What's the fucking difference?
Well, and once money's involved, it's going to be something's going to be. Somebody's going to be given some incentive to not win.
Yeah, we've gone over. We've had a couple of shady dealings already with this. We won't get into it.
Of course, I'm sure there's a jobber here and there.
Oh, there's some jobbers. So he fights old Tony Kryptonite Lopez, the last one. That makes him 6-0. And at this point, he says that he hasn't been fighting in the streets since he's been a professional. Said he used to be fighting out everywhere he could go.
Okay.
Basically anywhere. He was always looking for a fight.
You're not supposed to fight in the streets.
No, you're not supposed to. But like as a kid, he was looking for street fights. Then once he started training and just getting in a gym as a teenager too, he was like, well, shit, I want to beat people up because he could, and he was angry and, everything like that. Sure. So, I mean, and all that naval, all that time in the Navy. You
got to follow rules.
Combat skills he learned there are invaluable. So
you get out and you want to use them.
Let's do it in their own words. Okay. I haven't done it in their own words. People have asked me for I didn't think anyone cared about it. I thought it was only for me, so it's
Seems to be a hit.
You guys like in their own words, fuck it. We'll do in their own words. Quote, I've only been in one street fight since turning pro. It's not me picking on them. I'm a pretty quiet guy when I go out. I don't say much, and I really just talk to my friends. I don't know why, but people seem to pick on me. I'm pretty quiet, but sometimes it happens. This one guy, I was just standing there, and he just threw water on me and pushed me. From there, it just kind of turned into a fight. A fast one, but it was a fight. So that's his street fight since he's been.
So somebody picked it with him.
Yeah, he says, I don't know why, but people pick on me. Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing too, because I hear this for all the wrestling episodes we watch, I've done listened to a lot of like wrestler interviews talking about whoever guy I'm trying to do research on, and inevitably they always talk about these bar fights they're in from the 80s, and these are entertaining. Right. Hearing about jacked up wrestlers fucking beating up 18 guys at a bar. It's pretty fucking funny to hear about. And they always pick somebody. There's always somebody that they go to pick on, and it's usually a big guy, or it's a weird thing. Like there's certain guys that they'd go, people would just fucking, I don't know what it was. They just think that they could take that guy for some reason.
Face.
They just think they said there's a guy named Haku. He was Meng in WCW. He's one of the most scary people literally on earth. Like we've talked about him. He bit a guy's nose off, popped people's eyeballs out in bars.
In a bar, right. With somebody that we just covered
a while ago. Yeah. And then also like the SWAT team was called because he beat up a bunch of people at a bar, and one of the wrestlers said, let me bring him to you because you'll have to kill him otherwise. Right. Like you won't be able to.
You won't get him.
You're not going voluntarily. You'll have to. Yeah. And they were all like cool with it because they saw the carnage he left behind. They're like, we really don't want to fight with this fucking guy. We're probably gonna have to shoot him. Right. So they like talked him into just giving up. Like that's the type of dude we're talking about. They said that's the first guy everybody would pick on for some reason.
Why?
They'd say other guys would be like, I'm not a tough guy, and they could pick on me and it might be a fight, but they pick on him and it'd be like, you're an idiot. He's gonna kill you.
Is that just the intuition of dudes?
Don't know what it was.
Find the most threatening guy?
No, they just didn't think he was threatening because he was quiet. It's usually the quiet. They'll pick on quiet guys for some reason. Like if they'll think, oh, he must not be real, or he must be, oh, he thinks he's tough. He's an MMA fighter and he's quiet. So maybe I'll look like a tough guy if I get in his face and whatever. And if he's not coming back at me right away, maybe it's because I'm tough. Right. And that's the thing. And then they get the shit beaten out of them because someone knows how to fight and they don't, and they're in a bar. So one of those deals. And everyone in bars, I mean, if you're drunk and you're fighting a guy who fights professionally, he's going to kill you. He's going to beat the shit out of you. Right. You don't have a chance. So October 14th, 2005, back at the Palace in Lemoore, only the finest of locations for him so far. Yeah. Porterville, Tijuana, Lemoore. Yeah. Good stuff. This is World Extreme Cage Fighting 17, Halloween Fury 4.
Yeah.
You can't have 17 and 4 in the same. We've covered. You can't do that.
No,
that's not allowed. Pick one numeral to add. Can't be World Extreme Cage Fighting 17, Halloween Fury 4. That does no. Jesus Christ. He fights a guy, another stupid nickname. This guy, speaking of dumb nicknames, Jorge Van Dam Oliveira.
No.
You're not. No.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That's disgusting.
No. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Your nickname is... No.
Van Dam.
Oh, Jesus.
Jorge
Segal. Fuck you.
Jorge Segal. That's my favorite name ever right there. Jorge Segal. You know, Jorge Segal movies.
I hope Steven Seagal has a son named Jorge.
That would be amazing. This is my son, Jorge. You see him? How you doing? I'm Steven Seagal. This is my son, Jorge. Jorge Segal.
Have a bite of my bread bowl.
Hey, let me ask you a question there, pal.
I love when he likes to cook in his movies.
Let me,
when he's like a chef.
I'm a sensitive guy. I like to cook things. Also punch you in the face, but I won't act like I really care about it at all. You know what I mean?
I want to put a pot of boiling lasagna up your ass.
Hey, where's your wife? I want to sexually assault her. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that out loud. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. All right.
Excuse me, I'm going to go arrest Mexicans.
Did I mention I'm a police officer? I mean, not really, but they give me a badge and I like to pick on Mexicans, so yeah, you know. I put their arms behind their back and I say, I'll snap it, Jorge. That's why I named my son Jorge. You know, it just rolls off the tongue. You know, that's what I used to do.
I felt it was an ode to my victims. Friends.
I got to do it. You know, post 9/11. You know, these things.
Shit, yeah.
Do it.
He's such a dick.
He's such an asshole. So, old Van Dam Oliveira is 1-0 coming in. So
I love that we didn't fuck with Jean-Claude.
No.
It's because he peacefully went the fuck away to AIDS and left us alone.
I don't know what he's doing out there.
Got to insert himself in our lives in his 60s. Fuck you, Steven.
How you doing? He's all fat and fucking lazy.
Shut
up, Seagal.
Fucking dork.
Yeah. So Jorge's 5-3 for his career. So not a glorious career. Justin wins with a KO, knocks him out with a slam.
Oh,
he fucking slammed him down and put him out. Jesus Christ! In round 1 at 3:41. So again, a slam. Like, that sounds rough.
God, that's the most vicious ending to a fight.
Jesus, bang!
It might be better. It's less brutal to punch somebody.
Yeah, he racked the back of his head on the ground or something, knocked the wind out of him. I don't know what he did to him, but
his neck.
Something. He's 7-0 now, Justin. So I mean, this is going well. After this fight, he ends up landing an agent. This fight lands him an agent.
Really?
So he's 7-0. He's he's been showing himself to be pretty good. No fights out of the first round yet.
Slams him an agent.
A guy named Ken Pavia ends up representing him. So this, as like a comic, you would understand if you went and did like the Montreal showcase or something, and you had no agent, and then you fucking end up with an agent.
Right.
That would be a big deal.
Saturday Night Live, and then you do some racist jokes on a podcast, and then all of a sudden,
you don't anymore. And guess what? So he gets an invitation to compete in the World Extreme Cage Fighting Tournament here. It's a light heavyweight tournament. But in the fight against old Jorge Van Dam over there, he hurt his shoulder, Justin does. And he considers not fighting this fight, even though it's a big step up for him and he wants to be in this tournament, because if he wins it, it's kind of a big deal and it'll give him some attention. He's kind of got a hurt shoulder, too. So it's like, fuck, if I lose... my shoulders hurt, and that's why I look bad, but I really have, I'm not at my 100%. So
must have been a nasty slam.
It happened somewhere else in the fight. Who knows? But I mean, that's a tough one if you're a fighter with that, because you opportunities come here and there, and you don't want to blow them. It'd be like a comic, and you have like a cold. My voice isn't good, but fuck, I've been dying. A lot of people going to see me at the showcase.
It's a perfect analogy with the guy on the podcast.
That's exactly right. Exactly on the money. So he does that. He ends up fighting anyway. Decides he's going to do it. Also, so he's in a big tournament, got an agent, also meets a woman, or starts to get more serious with a woman. He met her a couple of years before this, but starts to kind of get into this woman, a girl named Sarah McLean, or McLean, however it's pronounced. She's 23 years old. She's a bartender in Laguna, one of the places he goes and hangs out. She works at Hennessy's Tavern there. It's a few blocks from the beach. Nice, one of those beachy.
It's fucking Laguna Hills, James. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. Laguna Beach is a fucking nice area. So, she is, she's a bartender. If you've known bartender women, they're usually, Sarah used to be a bartender. Yeah. They're go-getters. They're strong, strong-willed.
They get some attitude.
Yeah, they know how to have a voice on them.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. They're assertive.
Right.
There you go.
Emily is one.
There you go.
It's the same thing.
It's the same shit. So you got that. So he's got an agent. He's got a woman that he likes. She's pretty cool. He's fighting. He's in a big tournament. Grace.
Oh no.
Oh, it's Grace here. This is Grace. Yeah. Absolutely. So, it's fast and furious from here, Jimmy. Downhill slide, let's just say here. January 5th, 2006 is another traffic arrest, which is not terrific. That's, Halloween fury, good God. January 5th, another traffic arrest. January 13th, he's fighting again. This is January 13th, 2006. He's at the Palace again. Yeah. So, Lamore, he's just drawing him in. He's fighting in a World Extreme Cage Fighting 18, unfinished business.
Yep.
And this is the tournament here. And this is a rough time. He fights Scott Hands of Steel Smith.
Ooh.
If your name's Scott Smith, you need a nickname.
He's a grappler.
That's a guy you need a name. Well, no, we'll find out. He's a puncher, this guy.
Oh.
Hands of Steel.
Okay.
He's a puncher.
I picture a dude that can grip wood.
Oh, I get you. Like he's going to grip of steel. He's going to never let go of you.
Strips for hands.
Take that. Hands of Steel. This guy's an 18-11 fighter career, and this is the first round of this tournament here, and he's 185 pounds for this fight, so he's really he's taking this seriously, like the agent and the big thing, and his shoulders hurt, so he really wants to be in shape for this, because if you're out of shape and hurt, you're not going to win anything. But the other guy here, Scott Smith, he's a puncher, and he's a guy that you got to be weary, alert of his punches here. So they fight a little bit. He actually connects lands the first big blow on Scott Smith and drops him to a knee and everything like that. They start grappling on the ground a little bit. One guy's trying to get a guillotine choke on the other guy. They end up getting out of it, starting over again. Looks like a pretty evenly matched fight. Like one guy will do one thing, the other guy will counter it, and they'll pop out of it, and it's one of those deals. So it's working very well. And then at one point here, they're grappling, they pop back up on their feet, and Smith lands a vicious fucking combination. Right, left, and then a couple more rights in the face, and holy shit, knocks him out cold.
Really?
And Justin is unconscious as fuck. Seriously unconscious. Not one of those where you go, that's not good for your brain. What just happened there? It's not good. And it's one of those where he's unconscious and still getting pummeled before the ref jumps in. That's a thing. That's a big deal. I've been reading a lot about this too, especially with this episode, because I was kind of interested in what makes guys do things they do, as we'll get into later on. And the fucking CTE thing, man, is dude, you
can't hit a dude that's defenseless.
Well,
man.
That's the difference. Boxing overall statistics. Just open your soda, Jimmy. Jesus Christ Almighty!
Just noise with the fucking thing.
It's over and over again. One shot, drink the fucking.
It's over.
It's open. It's all over, man. So, boxing is statistically, it is more dangerous than MMA, because obviously boxing is all punching.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no one's ever going to win with an arm bar in boxing. It's never happened.
It's very rare.
Very, very rare. I've never seen it.
Matter of fact, when there is an arm bar, that person loses.
That's a loss there. I take points away from you as you do that. So that's a lot of punching. But one thing that is different about MMA than boxing is boxing does have the standing 8 count, which is, medically is pretty ridiculous. You got knocked down and basically knocked to the point where your legs went out from under you, but you have 8 seconds to get your shit together. He seems fine now. Go fight. Obviously, that's stupid. But if the guy is still out of it, then the ref won't let him fight. He does kind of gets his bell rung and comes back, but that's not good for your brain, what happens there. But in MMA, guys get knocked unconscious and continue to be punched. Mm-hmm. That does not happen in boxing. No. Very rarely do you see a guy get hit, be out on his feet, going down, and then get hit again. Right. It happens once in a blue, but it's usually in the course of a combination. In MMA, they're trained to hit till the ref tells you to stop.
Well, also, the difference between boxing and MMA, you can't
knock
hit
a guy on the ground. That's the difference. Yeah, you knock a guy down on the ground. In boxing, you run to the opposite corner. Right. That's what you got to go run to the neutral corner. That's the point. Get the fuck out of the way of the ref and let him count. Whereas in MMA, you pounce.
Explode his head until the ref
that's
stops
what happens.
you.
So the damage that's done, if you're knocked unconscious, the damage that's done there is insane.
It's immense.
To be repeatedly hit after that, and that is
as
insane,
hard as physically possible by that man.
Oh yeah, and you're completely defenseless,
and you are not putting hands
defenseless
up.
And not bracing,
right?
Your neck snapping on it, which is making your brain fucking slap
around.
This is the insane. One thing like this can completely fuck your brain up forever. This is not great shit. Literally, you could not know your goddamn name after
your
this
brain
shit.
Does not heal.
No,
Never.
Especially not shit like
this.
And
after that, it's you're getting extra injury to your brain that will never heal, and you can't put your hands up. And it's fucking nuts.
And he's really never the same again after this fight, ever. And this is at 158 of round 1, too. I mean, it's a quick fight, so he's 7-1. And there's a lot of debate whether he, with a shoulder injury and everything else, and Scott Smith was a more experienced fighter. Basically, this was not a good fight for Justin. And
one of those where,
they probably shouldn't have he shouldn't have taken it, basically. He should have been advised against it, especially if he had a new agent. That sort of thing. He ends up, he continues on, though. I mean, nobody really holds, everybody knows he has a little injury, too. That's the thing. MMA, if a guy has an injury a little bit and he's hurt and they knew he was a little injured, they don't really hold it against him as much because they're like, well, he was a little bit hurt, stuff like that. So, he had an agent, though, and everything like that. So March 10th, 2006, he's arrested for more traffic issues. So who knows if he even knew he was driving at that point, because 2 months before that, he got his brain fucking pummeled into pudding.
Right.
Who knows what happened? April 15th, 2006, it's the Honda Center in Anaheim here, the Arrowhead Pond. He gets signed here by UFC. So this fight, despite the fact that it's a loss, gets him recognized and gets a shot at UFC here, which is a huge deal at this point to get out of Lemoore, California. From there to the Honda Center in Anaheim's a huge difference, you know.
A huge fucking sponsor. It's going to be a great place.
It is. It's the pond. It's where the hockey team plays and everything. It's UFC 59. It's the first UFC event in California ever.
Really?
Yes. This is the first one they ever did in California when they got, finally they let them in, basically.
Who's the main event?
Let's see here. I'm not sure. I don't know the main event. It's UFC 59 Reality Check is the name of it here.
Jesus, Dana.
It's the fastest sellout crowd in UFC history, 13,000 seats, and total revenue, pay-per-view and live gate of $2.2 million, and everything total. Live gate was 2.2 with pay-per-view and everything, $19.25 million.
Now you're talking.
This is kind of... this is UFC's coming out party kind of deal.
You said 2.2. I was like, that's
the live gate.
Low. Right.
That's just the tickets.
Right.
That's pay-per-view is where the money's at.
Right.
$19.25 million. So this is a big goddamn deal. Justin is actually, he gets this gig because another fighter drops out and they need a fighter, and they call upon him to step in there. And for him, he's not ready for it yet. No. He's fighting a guy named Evan Tanner. Do you know who he is? No. Evan Tanner's he was a champion actually, and a really bad. Yeah, he was a really experienced guy, 32-8 career fighter. Wow. Pretty badass guy.
What year is this that he fights him?
This is 2006, April of 2006.
This is about when I started to wean out of it.
Okay, so that might be that. So this is not a good fight for him, again, but you can't turn down, if you're fighting in fucking casino parking lots, you can't turn down the opportunity to fight in UFC. You just can't. No. If you can't hit major league pitching and they're calling you up to the majors, you better try, because you can't say, no, I'm good down here for a while. You're getting the shot. You take it. You better be ready to go through the door. So Evan Tanner, 32-8 career fighter. Justin said about him, Evan Tanner is a great fighter. Ever since I was 17, 18, I would watch him. So this is a guy who's
been watching him for 7 years.
He's been watching him, as he started to get into fighting and interested in pro fighting, and through his naval stint and all through the motel rooms, all through the South of the minor league, on the minor leagues.
Pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11, I watched him.
He was a great fighter,
but post 9/11. So he said, all of his fights are just great. He's one of the best fighters out there. For me to beat him would be just tremendous. It would propel my name so far and would open up so many doors and opportunities for me. It's unbelievable. That's what he says. So he sees it as the biggest, and it is. It's a huge opportunity. If he was to come in here, total unknown, 7-1 replacement guy, and fucking knock this guy out in the first round, he'd be a star like that overnight. Overnight star. People be like, who the fuck is that guy?
At this fight where it's the fastest sellout in history.
That's what I mean.
$19 million worth of pay-per-view. It's going to be ridiculous.
This is his shot. He wins this fight. He's a made man here. He says about his strategy, quote, I'm going to stay standing up. He's going to shoot and clinch, try to get it to the ground. It's not going to happen. He has a hard time with good strikers. He has a good overhand right and a good inside right. He's not too much of a banger, though. So he's saying he wants to stay on his feet and try to punch this out with this guy.
Do you know how he knew that about him?
Let the guy,
because he has all of that tattooed on his back.
Yeah, he's just. He said, hard time with good strikers. Good overhand right, good inside right. I'm not much of a banger. Will shoot and clinch and try to get you to the ground. Numbered sequence he's got back then. He's got like little anime or little drawings, little illustrations showing. This is me. This is me trying to get you to the ground while you punch me in the back of the head. This is.
Unfucking real.
Yeah, you know what I mean here. So he got an interview. He was all smiles and all happy, and I mean, this is his shot, man. And he one thing I got to say that we haven't really gone over about him is everybody says he's got a very bright, happy, kind personality.
Oh, his disposition is sunny.
His disposition is sunny. Yeah, he's not considered he's not a brooding guy. He's not, because I mean, we just say Justin the Executioner, and we're talking about some stuff, and he beat up his wife, and that's fucking terrible, or beat up his girlfriend, whatever. But he's not considered particularly a brooding asshole. Kind of guy like that, a macho kind of dude, like a lot of these guys are.
The Executioner is more like an ironic nickname.
It's, he's the Executioner.
Comes in smiling.
Look at me. Hey, look at that. But yeah, this to him, he says, quote, "It's my time." This is he's shot and he's going to fucking take it. He comes in with his hair black on one side and red on the other.
Cool.
Down the middle, two different sides of his head.
I like it.
Whatever. I mean, he's trying to make a statement here. He comes in. He's got his the Executioner on him and all that type of shit. He's trying to be something. This is his first time. He's like, I'm going to dye my hair. I'm going to do that. He's trying to stand out. Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm sure they told him, his agent probably told him, hey, fucking,
that's some eyes on you.
So, I mean, dye your hair a couple colors, not going to make you fight any different, but it'll make people recognize you. Now, Joe Rogan, during this fight, the, podcaster, comedian, actor, and UFC commentator forever here, he says the first things he says about him is, quote, "Evan Tanner looks much larger than Justin Levens. If you look at his physical build, the musculature and everything, he just looks much larger." So that's kind of that sounds like such a Joe Rogan. Yeah. You can hear him saying that. The musculature. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to hunt deer.
So there was a soundbite.
And we're not making fun of him. We like Joe Rogan.
There was a soundbite from George Takei on the Howard Stern show saying musculature. It's the first time I'd ever heard the word. And Joe Rogan's a huge Howard Stern fan. I wonder if that was an actual ode to George Takei.
Maybe.
On a UFC event saying musculature.
Maybe. Or it was just,
it's him just brooding about somebody's muscles. Because he loves muscles.
He likes muscles. Yeah, he likes muscles. Favorite. Like when he talks about like a fighter and like their physique and shit. He sounds like Vince McMahon. Yeah, like he does, like real Vince McMahon. He's like, the muscles on him. Like he's into it. Because he likes working out and generally, he's into that shit. And he's like, yeah, that guy's doing it. Right. He likes it when people are awesome. But to him, the
majority of people, when they talk about somebody's muscles, they'll say their build. Nobody says musculature.
Apparently, Vince McMahon would always say, "Look how vascular he is. Look at the vascularity."
I like that.
The vascularity of him. Look at the vascularity. Bruce Pritchard on Something to Wrestle always says that. Lex Luger would always go, "Look at the vascularity of him. Look at how vascular."
Sounds like a guy that likes cock shafts.
Oh, he's so vascular.
Look at the veins in him.
He said he's so vascular. You just say that about another man.
Isn't vascular fucking gross, though? That's like your veins are popping out.
That means you're fucking jacked. Yeah. That's what he wants.
You just worked out.
Yeah, he wants a guy. He wants a guy that the muscles are popping out of their skin. That's what he wants. Fucking action figures. Cartoon characters back then. So now they're both weigh in at 186 here. Both fighters weigh in at 186. They both walk around a little heavier usually. Everybody says at this point, it looks like Justin should probably be fighting at 170 and not even 186.
Really?
He could dial back to pudge a little bit still.
Oh, boy.
He's got, apparently these guys are they go back and forth like crazy here. And I mean, I could give you the breakdown of the fight, but I don't know all the names of the things. And I don't want to sound like I'm fucking pretending like I do, basically. I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you when I don't know shit. Yeah. And I don't fucking know all the moves and all sorts of shit like this. But anyway, they're fighting, and the whole time Tanner's just trying to really get him in. He's trying to hook him, and he's trying to get him on the ground. He's trying to wrestle with him, and all Justin's trying to do is not wrestle with him at all. So finally, Tanner, I guess he gets him in a triangle choke, and Levens ends up tapping out.
Damn it!
And it's actually called one of the better, the way he got him into it, and it's fucking cool looking.
It's clever.
when you see it, you're like, oh man, that was smooth. Like he did this shit real cool. Like
that probably happened to me too. That was pretty amazing.
Evan Tanner, yeah, it was like, ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, if you look it up if you can, it's only a 3-minute 14-second fight. So I mean, you can watch the whole fight, and it's a pretty good fight. It's interesting, but the way that Tanner takes him down is like, whoa, that was a cool move. Like Jesus, I want to do that. That looked neat.
So is it 14 seconds into the second round?
3 minutes,
5-minute round.
1 round. It's the first round.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
5-minute rounds.
I don't know how many minutes. It could be 20 minutes, but it's at least 3 minutes and 14 seconds. That much I do know. However long UFC rounds are in 2006.
I think they're 5 minutes.
So this is a triangle choke submission for Evan Tanner. So Justin is 7-2 now. So he's lost 2 in a row, but he lost 1 with an injured shoulder, and then this one he stepped in at the last minute. So that's considered like they're not going to hold that against you.
No,
like, hey, you didn't train for that guy.
Pretty ballsy.
And he's a way more experienced fighter than him, and it's kind of above where he should be. So they don't hold it against him. UFC still keeps him under contract. So 1 loss doesn't get rid of him here. They basically say, look, we know we fucked you over on that. You know, we know we
give you a better fight.
Yeah, we kind of sent you to the wolves on that one, and that's, you know, we're
only paying you $300-400.
Yeah,
but
we needed a guy, basically. That's all it was. Sorry, your pulse was strong, so we put you out there.
Sorry, you're breathing. You have a heartbeat, and we're only paying you nothing. But
you know, we figured why not?
Don't worry, we'll give you another one.
Yeah,
we'll do it to you again.
That's the thing. And he says, you know, maybe it'll get better. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll get somebody I can take next time, a lesser guy, and I can make my way with this, and it'll be fine here. His brother said he was very proud of him at this fight. At this time, he was fighting on TV. This is amazing, and a lot of quotes from his brother. They lined him up with Jorge Santiago. Jorge Santiago's an 11-5 fighter at the time. He ends up 25-12.
Seagal?
Yeah, Jorge Seagal. Jorge the Sandman Santiago.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Jorge Seagal. This is my son Jorge. So he says also his this guy that he's fighting here, he thinks he should be able to beat him. Basically, this is a winnable fight for him. You know, it's a something he should be able to do. So he's looking at this as, this is my opportunity. They gave me somebody I can take. I better get in there and take him. It's June 26, 2006, UFC Fight Night 5, Leben versus Silva. Okay. So it's this fight. Yeah. Hard Rock in Vegas. Yeah. This is when UFC is really coming into it. It's really popular at this point. I mean, obviously it still is, but this is when it had gotten there at this point. They started doing the reality show and everything. It was very mainstream at this point. So 25-12 career fighter, 11-5 coming in for Santiago. This fight goes 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Another short fight. As we noticed, he hasn't been out of the first round yet. He loses by knockout. He's knocked out again with a knee this time, which is fucking brutal way to be knocked out. It really with a knee. That's
it's fucking brutal. They allow that.
That's what I mean.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's one of the hardest
goddamn
spots
nuts,
on your body.
Man. Yeah.
And you can just, with force, slam that into somebody's fucking head.
In their head. And it's totally fine.
Yeah.
They're fine with it. They're like, good move.
They're like, unbelievable. I would have never thought to do that.
Jesus Christ.
Why? Because that man's a fucking murderer?
Yeah, he's almost killed him. He gave that guy brain damage.
Right.
Thanks.
He tried to kill the guy.
Absolutely. So he's 7-3 now. So he's got 3 straight losses. This is not great for him. He started out 7-0, and now he kind of got out of his league a little bit, it seems like. Yeah. And it's tough. So now UFC drops him, and he goes back down to World Extreme Cage Fighting. That's the AAA. This is World Extreme Cage Fighting 24. He fights at Full Force, October 12, 2006. The Tachi Palace and Casino.
The what?
Tachi, Tachi. I don't know.
It's too close to touchy.
The touchy Palace and Casino. Yeah. The titty touchy Palace and Casino in Lemoore, California. We're back in Lemoore again.
It's very handsy in Lemoore.
Oh, yeah. He fights Justin. Jesus, come on, man. Have some creativity. Justin the Hawk Hawes.
Have some dignity.
Hawes is his last name, and his nickname is The Hawk. Justin the Hawk Hawes. That's stupid. He's a 7-8 career fighter. Justin gets his mojo going back again here. He got his groove back with a TKO with punches and elbows. He took his anger out on this fucking poor schlub with a bad nickname in 1 minute and 28 seconds. This takes in round one.
He was the stronger Justin today.
I'm the better Justin. I'm the less douchey Justin. Right. He's 8-3 now total. November 17th, 2006. This is the BIB, the beatdown in Bakersfield.
What?
Yikes!
That's the BDIB, by the way, guys.
Yeah, no, one word.
Fucking
beatdown in that's the bib, Jimmy.
Is it beatdown 2 words? They're trying to do that. Not in this one.
Not the way they're doing it. They're saying it's the beatdown in Bakersfield.
Okay.
The bib. This is a one-off show. It's not any company. He fights Mr. Unbreakable Brian Warren, who is 18-17. So he's been broken 17 times. Mr. Unbreakable is just over 500. Not the fucking good nickname again. No. Bad nickname. Again, none of these people are living up to their nicknames. That's my problem with them. None of them. Fuck me. The Sandman didn't put him to sleep. Well, he did. He knocked him out with a fucking knee. So, all right, he lived up to his nickname, but not Mr. Unbreakable. Now, Justin wins this fight with a TKO with punches at 2:53 of round one. So, this is, he's back 2 more wins. He had to get a couple tomato cans under his belt, and he's 9-3 now. Now the International Fight League is around, and they have like a network television contract and shit. And this is a weird concept. It's a concept league here. It's teams of fighters. It's almost like, doesn't the Ultimate Fighter do that with the team thing?
Yeah, they do.
It's almost like that. It's like one of the guys, the Marco Ruas guy or whatever that trained him, he's got a captain of a team, and then there's another team. Maurice Smith had a team called the Tiger Sharks.
That's exactly what it is.
It's the same thing.
Right.
And Levens is on this card. He fights a guy named Reese Andy, who comes in with a 4-1 record. Yeah. And this is a guy who's a big puncher.
What's his name?
This Reese Andy, which sounds
what's his record?
Backwards. Sounds like his name should be Andy Reese, not Reese Andy.
What's his record?
His record is 4-1 coming
so
in.
Should clearly be named the Undefeated.
The Undefeated. The Unpunchable. Right. Never been punched. So this is January 19, 2007, International Fight League in Oakland at the Oracle Arena.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's a big venue. This is not they're not fighting in a casino park. Yeah, they're not fighting in a casino parking lot. This is a big deal. Right. This fight goes all 3 rounds.
Wow.
First time out of the first round, goes all 3 rounds, and he looks lackluster, everybody says, in this fight. Just wasn't really, I don't know, didn't look like he had his usual bounce in his step, which is a weird thing. And I have a theory on it, and we'll find out in a minute what that theory is, because he just looks like he's a little like almost under the weather, kind of doesn't have that
some glaze over the eyes,
5% slower than normal type of thing. We'll talk about it here. By the way, Reese Andy, Riptide Reese, he goes by.
Riptide.
Give me a fucking break. Jesus Christ. So he's 9-4. Yeah. So also he had been going out with a porn star.
Stop it.
His girlfriend for a couple of years was
that we were just talking about.
No, not the one he fought with. Not the one he fought with. Not the one he beat up and was arrested for. Yeah. A woman named Brittany Sky. Do you know who she is?
No.
She has 328 credits. This is a lot of porn.
Vivid? Is she a Vivid girl? Do you say?
Well,
no, it doesn't say.
You know what I have? I have every film she's ever been in. So we're going to go over a couple of the highlights here. If your children are around, you might want to give them about 5 to 7 minutes here. Get them out of the room, because there's going to be some real nasty titles that are fucking hilarious.
Throw the Bluetooth headset on.
Yeah, let's do that for right now. Don't blast this in your office or out your car window. Brittany Sky, in an interview.
If you're at Starbucks, press pause.
Let's pause it right now, because it's going to be funny too. So you're going to spit your shit out. So Brittany apparently hangs around the MMA scene a lot. She's into it. She says she must be into it, because she says, quote, "Fighting and fucking, my 2 favorite things."
Wow.
That was a tweet of hers once.
I like
at a UFC fight. Fighting and fucking, 3 exclamation points on that.
She does them opposite times, not at the same time.
I think fighting and then fucking, or vice versa. I don't know. She's got a weird energy to her. But either way, she has 328 adult credits. Now, I have them all here.
God, that's so many.
We're going to have to mention a few of them just to give you a background on her. Well, let's start out with the beginning of her career and work back up. She started out in 2002, it looks like. Good Lord, that's a lot of movies. Page after page. 2001 with Barely Legal 14.
All right.
Okay, that's I think she was like 24 at that time, too, by the way. So she was extremely legal.
And extremely
excessively legal. Yeah, she should be like, barely graduate students. It should be like barely master's degree reception.
Barely legal to say I'm barely legal.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. After that, a lot of them are Dirty Debutantes 213.
All right.
Naughty College Schoolgirls 23.
Oh, yeah.
And then she gets to Filthy Little Cocksuckers, which, little is still in there. See what I mean? We're still going with the young thing, but Filthy Little Cocksuckers of 2002 is obviously a classic that we all know of. Then there's different ones, obviously, that are more like a, standard name. Girl of My Dreams, Vixen, Temptress, Sodomania, which Sodomania 38 is pretty fucking good.
There was 37 of those.
Well, 37. There could be 160, but there's at least 38.
That's crazy.
Sodomania. That's fucking awesome. Sodomania.
Really lets you know what's happening.
Welcome, everyone, to Sodomania.
It's a mania of sodomy, James.
It's just
so
all
much.
sorts of it. So it's everywhere. The WrestleMania of sodomy. Love Potion 69.
Like so many in a room, and everybody's just
sodomy left and right. Love Potion 69.
All right.
Several of the As Young as They Come series she's into there. A lot of those.
No.
Yeah.
That whoever came up with that should be arrested on the spot.
As Young as They Come.
Gross.
I see 4 and 7 she was in, so multiple deals. Then she's in The Oral Adventures of Craven Moorhead 11.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those there. What the fuck? This is the 2002. She's in a movie called The Negro and Mrs. Jones 2.
No,
you can't do that. What the fuck is that about?
I'll bet that's her bestseller.
What the fuck is that about? That's 2002.
See, James, post 9/11.
I get me and Mrs. Jones too, because that was what the post 9/11. I guess. Okay. In Mrs. Jones, by the way, not and. In Mrs. Jones, too. I apologize.
So she is
very
Mrs.
important,
Jones.
That word. Sticky Side Up 3.
Oh, my God.
Which sounds gross. Ron Jeremy on the Loose, so that's not great.
God, fuck.
Pussy Man's Teenland 3, Beauty Queen. That's that one there. Very nice.
How gross do you feel right now?
It's fucking, I had to look this up. Funny Boners. Is it a comedy?
I don't like that at all.
Jack Benny music or Benny Hill music playing?
Is it just porn stars laughing at dudes with like curved dicks?
Yeah, look at that. Ha ha. Look at his boner. It's all weird.
Yeah, how weird his mushroom is.
Deep Oral Ladies 18.
Oh,
That's,
no.
Chasing the Big Ones 15. Brittany Sky, a.k.a. Filthy Whore. That's the name of a movie she's been in. A 2002 film. Brittany Sky, a.k.a. Filthy Whore. So
his girlfriend.
Yes, his girlfriend. A lot of black and white things. Big white tits and big black dicks too. A whore with
in that one.
Yeah, a whore with no name. That's a good one. A whore with no name is
that's
really
pretty
good.
solid.
That's a solid. I'm sorry if we're going to take a sidetrack, but that's hilarious. There's some funny shit in here we're going to talk about.
A little homage to a horse with no name.
Yeah,
that's
it's
great.
Good stuff. A bunch of the Amateur Angels series here, amateur show-offs, 18 and Lost in Cleveland. Which sounds like a horror movie.
It does.
Just could have just been in Cleveland. No, not Cleveland. Oh God, it smells like burning exhaustion. Help us.
What? How many? What year? All
that
these
was
were
all
in, like
2002. Those were all 2002.
She fucked more on video in 2002 than I did in the whole year.
Your whole life. Never mind that year. Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
She's in Naked Volleyball Girls, the Big Tit Swim Team.
Yeah.
That's a big one. You got it. So she gets into a sports theme here for a little while. Beyond Reality series, a bunch of those. What is this? Jenna's Harem. I guess it's something with Jenna Jameson, I'm sure. Yeah, I would imagine.
So she is. Oh, she might be a Club Jenna girl.
Oh, no. She's in one called Hot Showers 9.
Oh, fuck.
There's pee in that one. There's
is
pee
that
in
what
that
it
one.
is?
There has to be. There's pee in that one. Hot showers?
I see it as like, there's a camera
piss.
in there, and then a guy walks in and is like, oh my God, I didn't know you were in here.
Her segment's called, quote, There's Always a First Time.
Oh, Jesus. That's piss.
They're pissing on each other.
That's a water sport one.
Someone's pissing on someone. I don't know who, but someone's doing it. And I don't want to fucking see it or hear about it because that is disgusting. Okay.
What's her name? Brittany Skye?
Skye. Skye.
Of course it is.
Double Decker Sandwich 2.
Oh my God, we're still going.
Oh, we're in 2003, Jimmy. Young Girls in Prison, Wicked Sorceress, Young Blonde Voyeurs, Whore Hunters, which I guess is a House Hunters parody. When the boys are away, the girls will play 10.
Okay.
That's good.
So lesbian footage.
Voluptuous 4. Trailer Trash Nurses 7.
All right.
That's very specific.
Yeah,
Trailer Trash Nurses. They're in a nurse uniform. How trashy can they be?
But, James, they only do house calls to trailers. That's what it is.
That's why. Yeah. And they have like a short, trashy skirt on.
Where do you live? In a house? No, thank you.
No, sorry. We only fuck with Titsicle. A movie called Tits. It's a holiday film.
Why are the names of pornos more clever than Dana White's fucking fights?
Eddie, this is call your UFC 912 Titsicle. That would be amazing. I'd watch UFC 112 Titsicle any fucking day of the week.
I will watch UFC 912 White Trash Nurses.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's go.
By the way, if you're like, why do they keep reading off now? Don't care. We barely could have a fucking episode this week. We barely got here, and I'm going to do something that's fun for me.
This is a great time.
So you know what? Titsicle. Titsicle, titsicle, titsicle. Have that.
This is prime Jimmie tugging time, too, and I'm shocked that I don't know more of these.
Jesus Christ. Third Date. I assume that's a fucking video there. Some people fuck. Teens Never Say No! Exclamation point. Okay. Sweethearts.
I hope they do.
I really hope they do. Rub the Muff 8. That's a good one. Pussy Man's Decadent Divas 22.
She's really into that guy.
Pimped by an Angel 3.
Oh my God.
Like Touched by an Angel, Pimped by an Angel.
By
a bunch of the Perfect Pink series, which is pretty gross. Outlaw Nymphets, Orgy Angels 2. That's a good one. I know. That's a top notch. Naughty Young Nurses. I don't know if they're trashy or not, Jimmy, but they're naughty. So there's that for you.
Yeah.
More Than a Handful. A few of those in that series. Lesbian Hooker Party. Okay. That's good. Jenna Loves Girls. Funny Boners 2.
She was so good in the first, they gave her a sequel?
They gave her a second. Why
not? Do you
not?
think she got a piece on the back end?
Probably. I mean, it was probably in her contract that you know what it is? She does one, there's in a contract for 2, but then if they do a third, then they got to pay her. She's getting like 50% of the back end on that point. Yeah. It's it's like if they did Speed 3.
And then right after this, it all went free.
Oh, yeah. Candy's Cock Show. We have Blow Me Sandwich 3. Big Tit Brother Lovers 2.
All right.
Which is a good one. Big Breast of the West 2. That's a good. Jesus Christ.
She got a lot of sequels.
Oh, absolutely. Any Dorm in a Storm. 100% Blowjobs 20. That's fucking top notch there. That's a Twat Squad. She's in a movie in 2004 called Twat Squad, Jimmy. Titsicle and Twat Squad.
UFC 86.
Oh, God.
Twat Squad.
I wish I could name this episode Twat Squads and Titsickles. I wish I could name it that, but I don't think Apple will let me do it. Probably not. True Hardwood Stories. I assume she's fucking basketball players.
Probably.
Large black guys in that one.
True ones.
True, yeah.
True.
Jesus Christ. Tits Ahoy. So there's that. That's clever.
Not bad.
That's good. Swap the pop. I don't know what that.
James, that's a lot of chicks blowing the same dick.
Stick it in my face too.
She likes to be face.
She's like a fucking Ocknell song. What the fuck is going on? Jesus.
Stick it in my face too.
That's like put it in your mouth and stick it in your face. That's whoa. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's two like TOO.
No, it's two. Stick it in my face! ! Yep. I really want it in my face. Part 2. Again, please, because it's got an exclamation point right here. Stick it in my face! ! 2. You see it there. College Guide to Anal Sex.
Well, I mean, if there's a guide, it should be given to them.
School of Hard Knockers.
Okay.
That's a good one. Not there. Awful. I'm not reading off every one of these, by the way. I'm skipping so many. Porking with Pride 2. I'm not going to read 330 of them. Put it wherever. That's a great name.
I like it. Put it
wherever.
Not exactly, not necessarily the penis, maybe the load.
What do you got there?
Put it wherever.
Put it wherever. I'm good. It's fine.
Just walking in a room, they're like, "Oh, just put that wherever."
Yeah, that's fine. Run around Sue. Someone from Dion's family should sue there. Pay to play 2, anal payoff. Or playoff. Anal playoff.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a tournament. It's a tournament situation
Sweet
there.
16.
I'm not sure. It could be. You never know. Unreleased, blah, blah, blah. Sex camp, playground, irresistible. Internal combustion 4.
Gross.
I cream on Jeannie.
It's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Go back real quick. Internal combustion, that sounds like a UFC.
Combustion. Yeah. Internal combustion 4. UFC 714 internal combustion 4.
They should use that one. With
Titsicle. Come cream on Jeannie. With the twat squad.
Put that anywhere.
Put it anywhere. Anywhere the twat squad allows you.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ. Hooter Castle. Grand Theft Anal 4. That's solid. I like that.
Why is porn better than Dana White?
Why are they more clever than MMA? Deep in Cream 5. Come on in.
Oh, Jesus.
That is gross. Double D Pizza Girls. You got to have that. Jesus Christ. What do we got here? College Invasion. She's still doing college movies. Good Lord.
She's in her 30s.
This is only 2004.
No, she's still only 24 years old.
This is still in 2004, Jimmy. We're still there. 12 nasty girls masturbating. That's the most
specific.
It's just this is what we have. It's like if they called McDonald's hamburgers and French fries. It's okay.
12 girls.
12 nasty girls masturbating.
That's like you just put 12 girls in a circle masturbating. You put a guy in the middle with a camera and you just spin them around for an hour and a half.
That's a movie. No wonder why this shit's free now.
12 nasty girls.
I mean, you know what you're getting. That's what I like about that.
Specific.
You know exactly what you're getting. No surprises here.
I have never seen a film called 4 Scenes, 2 Fuckfests, and a gangbang.
2 fuckfests, an anal, a facial, and a half and half. What do you want?
That's amazing.
Once you go black 4, apparently you keep going back 3 more times once you go black, apparently. All sorts of different cum puns. I guess she was actually in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, uncredited as a porn star. I know who
she is. She is the girl when he went to whack off.
Maybe.
She's the big-titted blonde.
Yes. Yeah, that's her.
And she goes, why don't you whatever? And then she goes, because I am you. It's that girl. That one.
I think so. There you go. She's uncredited as the porn star in that one. Yes. Also, Hike and Hose. I guess that's a Woods-based.
After the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
After that, yeah. Oh, no, she's right back in it.
Nuts.
No, 2005. Yeah, she's back. She's doing Wank on Me and Beauty and the Bodyguard and Wicked Sex Party 7 and Adventures of, what the fuck is it? Swallow Me POV 3, Summer School Sex Kittens, Stalker, Spunked 3.
Oh, Spunked.
Spunked.
That is good.
That's Spunked 3.
With apostrophe D? Like punked?
Like punked, yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant.
She's another put it wherever. So that's good there. Wow. She's very open for whatever. Poke her for idiots. I don't know what that is.
Oh, like poker.
Poke her. Like poker for dummies.
That's why you hate puns.
For idiots. Yes.
Because you're like, I don't want to think about your stupid fucking joke.
No.
That's why. I get it right now.
No Man's Land 40. I assume that's chicks. Nailed with cum. I don't know how you do that. Muff 2. Okay.
What year is that?
It's 2005.
In 2005, they haven't gotten more than one just
I
muff?
would think there'd be muffs back from the 70s.
It should be
That's
Muff
when there'd
78,
be
right.
Giant muff, fucking big old muff, puffy muff. Lots of different muffs here. Harlot. She's in just a movie called Harlot.
All right.
What do we got here? A bunch of Exposed, Evoke, Cum Beggars 2. Okay. Boobarama.
So you're saying she's been in a lot of porno.
Rock Sluts. Anal Fiction? Does that mean it's not really in her ass?
No, not that one. I haven't seen that one.
Addicted to Cock 2, American Ass 4.
No.
All this type of shit. What else is she?
What else you been in?
Well, let's see here. I found a couple of things here. Happy Horny Holiday.
No.
That's a good one.
Isn't it?
No. Let's see if Les Be Friends.
No, that's not the one I know her from.
One. No. Double Penetration 4?
No.
Is that it?
No, not maybe.
What about Big Titty Woman 2?
I don't think so.
No? The Cream Team? Is that a... No? Never heard that one? No? Say Goodnight Dick?
That's not the one I know her from.
Shit. Pussy Licking Lesbians 2.
No.
I mean, post 9/11, it's hard to... Lesby Friends Again?
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Hard Hat Hotties? Strap-ons for Dummies?
God, Jesus.
Big Tit Brother Lovers 11 and 12.
Oh, she went back for more.
2 Chicks to Lick Your Dick. That's a very specific one. A lot of the Big Wet Butts series as well. And we'll leave it at that. That goes all the way up to 2012. We did about a third of her. We literally listed maybe a third of her movies. But
wow.
So that's his girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, and more power to her.
I think we spent 20 minutes on that. But you know what?
You want
that was pretty fucking
career,
fun.
But that's fucking amazing. And that is an IMDb page.
That's
James.
her. That's on regular old IMDb. And you know what his email is, by the way? Because I found it on one of the like a background check site. I found like a bunch of his old emails, and he had like a one that was just like Justin's like .levens at AOL. He had that, and he has pornstaroc69@hotmail.com.
How did he even get that? That's impressive.
That's impressive. A pornstar OC. Maybe it was the OC part that got him over the top.
County part.
Yeah. Nobody was thinking about that yet. At Hotmail.
69.
Hotmail. It's Hotmail.
He went pornstar69 at Hotmail. Already taken. Fuck!
What the fuck?
I got nothing else.
Have you tried 60? Oh, okay. I was gonna do Titsicle next, but I Twat Squad OC 69. Twat Squads and Titsickles. It's that time of year. We all sitting round the fire. Chestnuts, Twat Squads, and Titsickles. Oh, come and
my God.
Warm up your Titsickles.
Put it where you like.
Put it wherever you want. Hey, it's a Twat Squad Christmas. Warm up your Titsickles right over here.
Put it where you want, even my ear.
Put it where you want, even my ear. We can do it now. Sodomania 38.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Anyway, March 17th, 2007.
Yeah.
He's fighting again. He fights, it's in the Los Angeles International Fight League. He fights Vladimir the Janitor Matyushenko.
Just goes by his career.
Janitor. Yeah. I was janitor in Russia. Now I fight people. I guess janitor. Only nickname I ever had. People yell, hey, janitor. I say, okay, I come sweep up. And that's me. So 27-8. I make you bleed, then I clean blood. I am janitor.
He was 27-8?
27-8 career record.
That's great.
He's a good guy, yeah. And Justin finds out that by losing by TKO, getting the shit punched out of him, 3 minutes and 7 seconds in round 1. So he's 185 pounds again for that fight. He gets down. He's trying. He really wants to. He broke up with that porn girl. She broke up with him, and he's with this Sarah, woman, and he's trying to be serious. She's she's trying to help him stay in shape because his problem is he likes to eat shitty food. That's his problem. He likes fast food. He likes chips. He likes cookies. So he likes that stuff. So if he cuts that stuff out, that's the extra weight, basically, they're saying. So cut out the shit. And so she's trying to help him with that. He fights May 19th, 2007, International Fight League, Chicago. This is at the Sears Center. So good venue, versus Brian Tattoo Foster. So I don't know why you'd go by
little guy.
That's what I was thinking. Is he a tiny man in a suit? What's going
tattooed
on? Or is he just covered in tattoos? 9-12 career fighter. And again here, he gets caught with punches again, Justin does. Loses by TKO at 1 minute and 17 seconds. So
it's been a minute since he won a fight.
That's what I mean. He lost 3, won a couple. Now he's on a bad streak. He's a streaky guy. It's all streaks. I think he won 7, lost 3, won 3 more. Now he's on another streak of losing here. Now August 2007, Justin takes Sarah to go hang out with his family and meet his family. They go to Colorado where his brother's getting married. So he's the best man in his brother's wedding. He goes there. They're having some problems at that time, Justin and Sarah. Yeah, but they not so much where they did it like during the wedding or anything.
Got it.
The family didn't even notice it. But their friends knew about that. The family said that Sarah seemed shy, but they said then again, they were used to Britney. So compared to fighting and fucking is all I like, anything is shy. Because Sarah's not shy. She's pretty assertive, but she's just not like, let me show you my fucking twat squad titsicles. Like, it's a different thing. So
he's saying a porn star probably isn't very subdued around the family.
No, that's the thing. She's just like, what's up, everybody? Look at my pussy. I don't know if she was like that, but she's definitely she had personality. We'll put it that way. She's not shy. That's one thing.
Clearly not.
She's not shy. So now they say that she might have just been reserved because she was meeting these people, or because both of them are on a bunch of drugs is the other problem. They don't know if she is, but he definitely has some drug problems looming that we'll talk about that are bubbling under the surface because he's got pain now. He's got injuries. He's got he's got problems. He's got all sorts of, his body is not not holding up as well as he would like it to. Now, he said his brother Tim says that Justin didn't seem depressed at the time, but he does seem like he's kind of sad basically about his career, and he's in a kind of a low point where he's just he wants to train, he wants to keep fighting, but he's been losing a lot, and it's affecting his psyche.
It's fucking depressing.
It is depressing, and that's what he said. He goes, he didn't seem fully depressed though, but he does seem bummed out about it. Like, he said, quote, Tim says, quote, obviously he was having a hard time with fights. He had been training pretty hard. I think he was trying to look into maybe different martial arts. He was also talking about becoming an X-ray technician or a railroad worker. So he had a backup plan just in case. He's a very smart person. He'd sit down and think things through. So that's what they're saying. Tim's saying he even had at this point, he was saying, look, if this fighting shit doesn't work, if I lose a couple more fights, there's no point in doing this anymore.
Start looking at BNSF.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I better start doing fucking X-ray tech. I start looking at those commercials they show at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
See if the brakeman job still exists on the railroad.
Yeah, can I still work on the railroad? Do they still do that? Do you still have to be Chinese?
I will do it all the live long day.
I will. I swear to God, till she comes around the mountain, I'll fucking do it. Till all the titsicles are melted, boy. I mean, post 9/11. So, also he gets arrested for a bunch more traffic shit around this time too, in August, right after the wedding. I don't know if it's on the way back or what, but, September 1st, 2007, this is the IFO, International Fighting Organization. This is a different thing. This card is WIUF, WIUFF versus Salmon. That's the card. I don't fucking know. It's at the Riviera Hotel in Vegas.
Yeesh.
So one of the not great hotels in Vegas at this
Heartbreaking.
point.
By the way, I think that's torn down now.
I'm pretty sure
I
it
think
is.
it's gone.
Yeah, the Riviera was a fucking shit dump in the
shit.
That was in the 2000s. Like if you went there in like 2005, $30 a night. It was like there in the Sahara. It was like $30 a night. They didn't care.
Here's the punchline. Your friends are like, we're going to Vegas this weekend. Really? It's not expensive. No, we're staying at the Riviera.
The Riviera, dude. It's like $20. Who cares? upstairs.
They give you a Buick Riviera if you stay.
It's fine. You don't want it. You just leave it there, but it's still, you go there. So he's fighting in Vegas, though. That's to feel good. He fights Nate James, who's a 14-8 career fighter. This fight goes all 3 rounds again. So he must be in decent shape to be able to last the 3 rounds, but we don't know how well he did because he loses by unanimous decision. Yeah. So now he's 9-7.
This is not good.
It's a bad streak going on here. Also, around this time, he marries Sarah. So they get married, okay? Yeah, this is kind of a surprise wedding. Didn't invite his family. They just kind of got married quick. James. They got married in Vegas.
Of course.
And, his family was like they were surprised, basically. They didn't expect that out of anything. Now, he is... We'll talk about what he's doing here because it's going to come up in a minute anyway. He's doing oxymorphone is the name of it. Now it's an opiate. It's part of the. I looked it up and we'll talk about it here. It's a painkiller, obviously. And at this point, he is. He's gotten kind of just full blown doing. He's shooting it. He's fucking. He's got. Different pill. He doesn't have prescriptions for it. He's black marketing the whole thing. So
it's part of the Oxycontin family.
Yes, but it's
with
like
morphine.
It's we'll talk about it here. It's used to treat severe pain. Also can help anesthesia work better during surgery and ease anxiety caused by heart-related breathing problems.
Oh my God, it's exactly what it is.
Fucking strong.
It's oxycodone mixed with morphine.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, they talk about it like compared to Dilaudid, basically.
Wow.
Where fucking Dilaudid is like.
Oh my God, that shit's great.
Yeah, that's what they compare it to more than OxyContin. Wow. They compare it to Dilaudid, as far as the feeling goes. I mean, if you've ever seen Drugstore Cowboy with Matt Dillon, the movie, which they go around just looking for Dilaudid, basically.
It's the greatest fucking thing I've ever felt.
That's probably not tell everybody that.
No, I mean,
no, I know. Not in a recreational sense.
No. I took it prior to surgery.
Yes, he was given
fucking unbelievable
by a doctor in a hospital
with a by a doctor.
Don't just do this.
No, God no. My appendix had erupted and I was in severe pain.
That's severe pain.
They gave that to me, and I was like,
appendix.
I don't even care.
An organ exploded. That's a pain.
Let's just die, because this is amazing. I don't ever want to stop feeling this.
Yeah, hydromorphone, hydrochloride, and oxycodone, they say, are somewhat similar. Both can be given in tablet form and are available as liquids. They have extended release forms. This form is given to people who have taken opioids for a long time and need a higher controlled dose to be comfortable. So this is like people who have long-term pain. Right. You've had cancer for 10 years and they've been giving you different painkillers. This is like a step up from the last one.
This is like hospice drugs.
Yeah. Dilaudid, they say, this is from a website here. Dilaudid and other versions of hydromorphone are stronger drugs than oxycodone. They're the next level. Mm-hmm. They're used for serious pain like broken bones and cancer.
Yeah.
This is a hardcore painkiller, right? That you shouldn't just be taking on your own on the street.
Just as like a celebration on your wedding day.
Yeah, this is like last step of cancer painkiller that they'll give you. Like, you're dying now, so here's this, so you'll feel better.
Right.
And he's just taking it. That's why when they said he seemed a little slow in the ring and it wasn't himself, and he's doing this, and he
was probably taking it then.
Him and Sarah seem shy and shit. It's like, well, what's going on? Yeah. He's got a full blown addiction by now.
At this point,
you don't just start like shooting this shit.
No.
You start with I got some pills because I don't feel good, and then you work your way up. This doesn't work anymore. Right. This is a couple years, or this is a few years of a build.
How long do you think it takes for the?
Who knows? It depends on the person.
Not just that. How long do you think to escalate to this? Yeah. But how long do you take for the withdrawal to start when you don't take?
Oh God,
it's got to be
the next fucking
2
day.
Hours, right?
I was gonna say hours. I would.
It's got to be madness if you don't get this.
Next thing you know, your bubble's throwing up in the fucking interrogation room 1.
God damn you.
On the wire. That's what happens, man. Yeah, you're gonna be bad.
I'm staring at you like, what the fuck? Oh yeah,
bubbles.
Probably,
I know bubbles. Son of a bitch. Yeah, wire. So yeah, he at this point they said he's starting to look like kind of an older guy. Even he's just not the same kind of guy. Another UFC fighter talked about he had a dependence on painkillers, and he has a kind of an interesting thing about it. He says, "quote The thing about fighters, you're talking about painkillers to get through the day. The thing about oxymorphone, it's 10 times more powerful than morphine." Whoa. That's what he says. So. I don't know how he's not a doctor, but I honestly would believe a UFC fighter who used to be a drug addict on what's stronger or weaker than before a doctor. He knows. His life depended on knowing. Whereas the
doctor probably never took it.
That's what I'm saying. He knows this is this. This is way better in here. He fucking knows if he's on it. So I'm gonna take his word for it. Probably, October 18th, 2007. He's fighting again here, Justin. This is at the Palace Fighting Championship 4 Project Complete.
Yeah,
that's the name.
CUM.
The what?
CUM pleat.
It's complete. It's putting on by Brittany Sky. Project
Sky
Complete.
Productions.
Yeah, Sky. It's Twat Squad Productions, I believe, is the producer here. He fights Kenny the Dragon, THA.
All right.
The Dragon, Ento, ENTO. Yes, he's
like Enter the Dragon.
And yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, Kenny Ento the Dragon. You got it. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
He's a 14-15 career fighter, so at least he's been pummeled more times than he's came out on top. That should make you feel better.
Yeah.
He's been beaten more than everybody's getting justice in this show so far.
He certainly deserves it.
It's good. This is he ends up our guy here, Justin, ends up losing by submission with a triangle choke at 2:15 in round 1. So that's that, and he never fights again.
Good.
That
should be the end.
He has another fight lined up. We'll talk about it though. He's 9-8. October 19th, 2007. Another traffic arrest, by the way. He's taken in for that. Main thing though, December 13th, 2007. Sarah is driving with him. She's the driver. He is the he's the passenger there. They're driving in her car. It's in Vegas, and they've been married a few months here. They pick up a guy that she knows named Matthew David.
Yeah.
Okay, it's at a guy, one of his friend's house, Matthew David's house. It's past midnight. They pick him up late night. Okay, Justin's in the car in the front seat, and David hops in the back seat, and Sarah's driving. Now, Matthew David owes Sarah $200. Yeah. For what? We don't know. If it's drugs or a loan, we can guess. There's a lot of things. Who knows? But the guy only had $80 to give her.
You motherfucker.
Okay, he had $80 to give her. So at this point, judging by what Matthew David says, Sarah pulled onto a side street, turned off the main road onto a side street, and pulled over. He said that she then looked over to Justin and gave him a nod, and then Justin got out of the car, ripped Matthew David out of the car, out of the back seat, threw him to the ground, and punched him and kicked him until Sarah told him that's enough, basically. So he did like a little collection job for her, basically. Beat the shit out of this guy on the sidewalk, left him there, and then drove away. So that was what they did here, which is pretty illegal.
Yeah.
For whatever the debt is, it's not really legal.
It's a bit much. For $200 even.
It's a lot. Yeah.
He did have a payment. I mean,
yeah, he had. That's what I'm saying. He had $80. Right. Like at least he had 80. I mean,
credit card company wouldn't even ding your credit for that.
Yeah, like that's one of those where, all right, motherfucker, I'll be back tomorrow, and if you don't have 120, I'm going to break your fucking legs.
Right.
But 80's good for now.
Tomorrow is the day.
Yeah,
not tonight, because I have four
not
Benjamins, Andrews.
You should know that.
I got 4 of those.
4 of those.
And I'm going to need 6 more tomorrow.
Yeah, so they drove off. Well, he ends up going to the hospital, and he's got cuts and scrapes and bruises all over him and everything like that. And, he's fucking tells the cops he was assaulted and fucking, by who? I know exactly who. They picked me up in their car, beat the shit out of me and left me on the goddamn ground. And so both Justin and Sarah are arrested for aggravated assault.
Oh.
Because it was at her behest.
She's the boss.
It's the same thing. So they are arrested, both of them, which, I mean, could it get worse for him at this point?
Unless he's got drugs on him.
The only thing that could get, he might be able to beat some people up in jail. Maybe he can take those guys. He's not they're not professional fighters. It's a fucking mess though, basically. He doesn't know what the fuck to do with himself. You should see too, they're living in squalor at this point.
Really?
Because they're he's a junkie.
In Vegas.
Yeah, junkie Vegas squalor is not terrific. Everything is messed up. The other problem is too, anything opioid, based is
pretty gross.
It's just going to stop you up like crazy. Eventually, your plumbing's going to be hell, and you need to call somebody. Yeah. And after this, they have to. It's gotten so bad, they call on Paul Calhoun, shit pipe enthusiast, and he says, how is you come to arrive here? I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of shit pipes in my day. I'm the shit pipe guy. I'm an enthusiast for this. Let me tell you something. Your shit pipes are way more clogged than normal. Let me think, because you got titsicles in there. I found an entire twat squad. It's ridiculous. All in 9/11. It's all backed up in there. Your Navy's in there.
You're not going to believe it, but I found 12 nasty girls.
12 nasty masturbating girls were in there, all around each other. I was like, oh my goodness. So I'd tell you, clean your shit pipes or smack your wife. You already got that covered. I know from your 2003 arrest. So I don't want to tell you to do that, but you got to get your shit together, man. I mean, I could kick your ass at this point. I'm just a plumber. You know what I mean? I feel like if I had a plunger in my hand, I could probably fucking take you at this point, make you 9 and 9. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I want to clean those shit pipes. Poof. And a poof of shit and pipe. He's gone. And Justin is like, how high am I?
Yeah.
Did I take it? I think I took too much.
Right.
Yeah. So that is in mid-December. So just before Christmas here, he was supposed to move. He was talking about moving to Colorado at this point and getting a fresh start, finding a new gym and that sort of shit. He's like, okay, this is getting stupid here. Like, whatever groove I'm in is not going to work. Maybe if I go to Colorado, I won't be a fucking heroin addict, basically here. So he says, though, his brother says that he was always laughing still at this point, but he had troubles because Justin told both Tim and his mother that he was having blackouts. He's having blackouts, not due to substance, due to just his brain is fucked up.
Yeah.
He's literally just having pieces of time he can't remember.
Wow.
That is really bad.
Yeah.
Dude, people have CTE and they have that's next level CTE. That is
dementia. That's early.
That's he's beating his brain to Alzheimer level at that point. Like, and I'm not even fucking around. That's what you hear.
Scary.
NFL players who are, die and all this, that's what they have, blackouts, and they are like hardcore brain damage, CTE. They can't walk, shit like that. They have blackouts. This is not great here. And you mix that with drugs. I mean, that's an erratic thing. But they said his personality is still nice and kind. Plus he's got this assault charge looming over him and everything like that. His lawyer says that, this is bullshit and he'll get off on the charge. They said he was in Big Bear training. He wasn't even there. No way it could have physically happened is what they say. But, probably
that
not.
is horrifying. That's a terrible thought.
Yeah, blacking
That's like
out.
me coming to right now and still laughing about porn names.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you just didn't remember any of that.
And then you go, what are you talking about, Jimmie?
And you missed a spot, and you're just like, I have these blackouts. Wow.
Oh, my God.
That's fucking scary. So,
and your body's still operating. Your head's still operating. Your mouth is talking.
Absolutely.
It's just erased.
And this is in 2007 still he's talking about this. So 2008, he's still training and fighting. Yeah. This is crazy. So he trained with a guy in 2003 before he started fighting pro named Tom Atencio, or Atencio. I think it's Atencio. They trained really hard together. Now, Atencio ends up being the majority shareholder of Affliction Clothing.
Oh, Jesus.
So he is like
that guy?
Douchebag prime A.
Oh, God.
Here, like
Patient zero.
Think about he has spread it everywhere.
Oh,
like,
boy.
Whoa, he is the affliction monkey as far as the AIDS monkey goes.
Yeah.
He's but they were friends because they trained together. So this guy wanted to help Justin out, and their Affliction is putting on an MMA event.
Oh, boy.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Affliction banned.
Oh, God.
Even though it's not, because it's allowed.
No, because it's sponsors.
Liars. Every one of these are
literally
liars.
Every fighter has a fucking shirt designed by them.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're already kind of in that world there. So he hooks him up. He's going to give him a fight here on this card. He's going to fight Patrick Spate, who's a 3-1 fighter who's coming off a loss.
Okay.
He's a 170-pound fighter who just kind of trying to move up to a heavier weight class. The perfect tomato can for Justin to get his shit back together again on. He's a huge favorite too. I mean, everybody says this is a mismatch in experience and everything else. Levens trains hard here. He does. Justin trains hard. He's trying to get in shape for this and really working on it. He says that he's working hard, but they still say he doesn't look like he's as sharp as he used to. They don't know if his shoulder's fucked up, what's going on. They say something, he doesn't seem as enthusiastic as he used to be. Okay. And that can be, if you're having blackouts, I don't know how you'd be enthusiastic for something that causes it.
Right.
And by the way, he's doing a fuckload of fucking something stronger than morphine. So if you're enthusiastic on morphine, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's going to keep you grounded a little.
But that's I'm trying to figure. So it'll subdue your motor skills and your reaction timing and such. But
it chills your heart out.
You
if you're
can't
having,
fucking feel anything.
Well, that's the thing, because his body's such a disaster. His shoulder, his head,
and he's on morphine.
Is
that a performance enhancer or dehancer?
I'm going to say dehancer because
really?
You don't know you're getting.
Who gives a shit? You can't feel it.
Your body's still going to react to it.
Your brain still fucking gets racked.
I mean, it might feel better, but it's not going to. Afterwards, you're still going to.
The
feel
knockout doesn't hurt.
Hey, I felt fine. Maybe you won't remember it. Maybe you'll have a blackout. So, he was trying. He wasn't having a hard time paying. He obviously couldn't pay his bills as a fighter. In UFC, he made $10,000 for those two fights. That's all he made. So, I mean, everything else has been way under that in minor things. So July 19th, 2008 is going to be this big fight, his big comeback. Yeah. The Affliction guy is putting him up on a pedestal. He doesn't make weight. Not only does he not make weight, he fails his drug test.
Oh, no, he's fat now.
And not for steroids, for oxymorphone.
Asshole.
And his blood level for this was 10,141 nanograms per milliliter. That's how you test in blood.
And how much is
the limit?
Yeah.
Well, the limit you're allowed to have in your
20.
bloodstream in this is 120 nanograms per milliliter. So way 10,141, 10,000 more nanograms per milliliter. A lot than he should have.
He's fucked up at the drug test.
Super fucked.
Yeah.
No, they said that level that he has is so elevated that you would have to be such a fucking pro to not be asleep with that level in you. He's at a fucking weigh-in and doing
flexing,
doing shit.
Right.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how he could walk around like that. How fucked up he must have been. It's fucking bonkers here. They said, and it's the assistant executive officer of the California State Athletic Commission said the level would indicate a serious problem in the individual, which makes perfect sense. It's wild. So he gets cut from the card. He does get his purse, but he has to give some to his opponent. Also, for failing that test, the state of California puts a $1,000 fine and a 6-month fighting ban on him.
Right, of course,
because he's not allowed to do it.
You can't work if you're going to be this.
No. So not fight especially. Jesus Christ. So I mean he's fucked right now. I mean it's so bad. You almost feel bad for him because he's such a goddamn disaster. I mean, I do feel bad for him, Jimmy, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Justin Levens, data management specialist at the University of Kentucky Markey Cancer Center.
Oh, you poor bastard.
So he gives people oxymorphone, or people to get it there for a reason.
Right.
This is in Lexington, Kentucky. He went to the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. Justin Levens, patient transport at New Hanover Regional Medical Center in Wilmington, D.C.
Wow.
Or Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm sorry. And finally, Justin Levens, book narrator for Audible.com. Swear to God. Several titles under his name. Narrator of such titles as Make Money by Decluttering Your Home. How you make money by...
You have a fucking yard sale.
Yard sale.
Yeah.
There you sell your shit.
Right.
Wow. What a revolutionary fucking concept.
Write it and read it.
Hawk shit. That's your fucking... Yep, that works. Jesus. Also, quote, help! Exclamation.
Yeah.
My debt is making me miserable. There's that. Narrator of that one.
That one's all about eBay.
That's, I assume. And finally, spy gadgets revealed! Exclamation point. They're really loose with the exclamation points.
He's real loose with what he'll fucking read.
Hey, he's just whatever.
Fucking anything.
Whatever you give me.
Well, put any book anywhere.
Yeah, shit, pay me. That's what those guys do. You just pay them to fucking do it. Why not? August 27th, 2008 is Sarah and Justin plead not guilty to a misdemeanor, an aggravated assault charge here in Orange County Superior Court. They do have an attorney at that time, and there's a pretrial date set for January 21st. And so the guy is pressing charges against them for this. I don't know if he ever paid the extra 120, but he's pressing charges here. So he says his attorney here, he's a Laguna Hills attorney, Gary Polson, says that Justin wasn't even in town. He was in Big Bear. The whole thing's made up. This guy just he made it up. They said the money in question was stolen. This guy stole $200 from them. And the night of the incident, Sarah got a call from this Matthew David saying, "Hey, I got your money. I'll pay you back." And so she said though she never even saw him that night because they were supposed to meet, but someone else beat him up over the course of the night. And then he just said he'd pin it on them. Right. Because why? I don't know. That way he wouldn't have to give them $200. I don't know. That's his story. That's the Justin and Sarah's story. The attorney says also they aren't particularly distressed about the case. The case is not going to be a big deal at all. Blowing it off like fucking, that's fine. Not worried about the outcome. They said the worst they'll get is a fine or community service probably out of this. So
either is fucking terrible.
For them, yeah, Jesus. Tim, his brother, says, quote, about this incident of the assault, quote, "I read about that. I say that's not my brother to beat somebody up over $200. It's not something Justin would do. The only time he'd beat somebody like that is if a guy beat somebody like that, is if a guy went after Sarah. He was worried about what they'd do if they found him guilty. I said, if you weren't there, you have nothing to worry about. He was more worried about the what if of the situation. So, yeah, this guy, that's not like him. Well, he has blackouts, so it might be like him, and he doesn't even know it if it is. So whatever. Now, September 2008. Remember Evan Tanner?
I do.
The guy he fought and had a really awesome move. Evan Tanner has some issues on his own. Evan Tanner goes out on his motorcycle into the desert on a vision quest.
What?
Yeah.
A dirt bike or an actual motorcycle?
I guess a dirt bike. It doesn't matter because he had lost 4 of his last fights. His head was all fucked up.
What?
He went out there to do whatever the fuck, and he ended up dying of exposure because it was 114 degrees and he just couldn't find his way back. And
God damn it.
He had head problems. He had some issues. So, I mean, this is a lot of these MMA fighters. Whenever we'll talk about, like, do a wrestler episode, all these guys are dying. These MMA guys, you don't realize it because they're not, maybe like Conor McGregor's not dying, but these guys,
mainstream names.
A lot of these guys are dying.
I wonder,
suicides, a ton of suicides, a ton of weird circumstances with the guys with shitloads of brain damage.
I wonder what Dana White, the guy that benefits from that the most. I wonder what he does for him.
Well, he collects money. I know that much. I don't know what he's got in terms of CTE research.
Turner's family.
Tanner. I'm not sure. Probably not much, I'm going to say. But November 2008, Justin's fucking falling apart. He's falling apart. The Orange County police are at his address, which is 151 Florence in Laguna.
Yeah.
They're there repeatedly over the course of this month. Repeatedly. Once they showed up to investigate smoke coming out of their apartment windows.
Okay, like cigarette smoke? Or like
visible smoke, like a fire. You'd have to smoke 18 packs at the same...
Oh, God.
You have to have 50 people in there smoking cigarettes to make visual smoke come out of the fucking window. Visual smoke at one point. Another time they showed up to look into a reported drug overdose, and then, like, nobody was there when they got there, and shit was a mess. And
because they got to get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah, neighbors are calling the cops on. Like, cops are coming to the house repeatedly for total drug shit. It's a junky fucking thing here. They said that there's so many. The cops are saying in Orange County, this drug addicts like this, heroin, opiate addicts are so common. It's like they do this all the time. This is like constant. So they're like, shit, we barely even remember going there. We've been there so many fucking times and everywhere else for that matter. Yeah. So December 17th, they haven't been heard from since December 11th. Nobody's heard from them at all since December 11th. Yeah, they're supposed to be in court on Wednesday the 17th though. So who knows if they were holing up and doing whatever for a few days. But the 17th court comes and they don't go to court. Oh, that's an issue.
That's weird.
That's a weird thing. So Sarah's mom also hasn't heard from her in a few days, and she calls all the time and talks to her. So Now they also don't show up for court.
Right.
And Sarah's mom, I guess, was going to go to court and support her. So Sarah's mom goes over to their condo. She comes in there. Everything looks like it's a
little questionable.
A little questionable. It's a little shady. Yeah. Even more shady when she goes into the bedroom and finds them both dead in bed.
No way.
With gunshot wounds.
Oh, shit.
Sarah has a single gunshot wound to the heart, and Justin has a gunshot wound to the head, and he still has the gun in his hand.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So it is, they've been dead for probably 5 or 6 days, the autopsy says. So
he's fucking murder-suicide.
Murder-suicide, yeah.
What a dick.
It's just, I mean, who knows what the fuck was in his head?
Yeah.
His head obviously wasn't in the right place.
No.
And between drugs and brain damage, man, I mean, fuck, man, this is horrible.
Wow.
Shoots her. There's no sign of a struggle, no nothing. They think he might have shot her while she was sleeping.
Wow.
He might have, she might have been sleeping. He shot her, and then he laid down next to her and blew his brains out. So, I don't know. But, yeah, it's good. There was no struggle. She was lying down. He didn't put her on the bed. She was shot on the bed. It's fucking brutal. It's a total like a Chris Benoit. It's exactly what it is.
When was this? What year?
This is 2000, same year as 2008. It's right after Chris Benoit happened. It's the same time period of this happening, and it's the same thing with Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit, people had talked to him that week. People that had lunch. Well, we'll talk about it when we do the episode.
Everything
people
was fine.
had lunch with him that week and said, he had some personal problems and stuff, but he was still same guy and blah, blah, blah. And then just boom. I mean, that level of brain damage. And the Benoit, they tried to blame it a lot on the steroids.
Right.
That's brain damage.
Yeah,
he did
steroids rarely.
Hulk Hogan's been doing steroids since fucking 1978.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He never attacks people.
Right. Did steroids
viciously.
Forever.
Overdoing them, but brain damage,
Right.
and then you're super strength because you're on steroids and you have brain damage. That's
you're
a bad
super
combination.
strength slamming your head into something else. That's what
crazy.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Forever. They're found together there. A spokesperson for the Orange County Sheriff's Department said, quote, "If it's a murder-suicide, he's definitely the shooter. No suicide note is found or anything like that. But they do find the apartment, the condo is just fucking full of drugs.
Yeah.
Full of drugs. Painkillers, antidepressants, but no prescriptions for any of this shit.
Really?
He's just self-medicating with antidepressants and also
doctor
fucking
shopping or
gobs.
Yeah.
No prescriptions.
None of it are his.
No, none of them are prescription. They're just loose. He's got them in bags and shit.
What?
He's buying them on the street. This is all. He's gotten way past the point of doctors at this point.
That's so expensive.
No doctor's going to prescribe you oxymorphone to walk around. Like, he's buying this shit off the street, and he's doing all of this.
Crooked
and
nurses and shit stealing it.
I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's all sorts of ways shit gets out there. Plus, you're in California. There's Mexico's right there.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, I mean, with Mexico.
Tijuana, James.
He fights in Tijuana.
Right.
That's probably where he found it in the first place. So, the police rule it a suicide, then murder, not a double murder. They first said, was it a double suicide? And then they said, it seems like a murder-suicide. So, the autopsy they have, his lawyer says, quote, "I was completely shocked when my partner told me this morning. The one time I saw them, they were together and they seemed very happy." Well, 6 months ago, for 5 minutes in public, they seemed happy. That doesn't say a lot.
They may have just been high together.
That's the other thing. She said he also says that he met Justin Levens only once, but he spoke with Sarah about a half dozen times, and he said he'd been retained by her, who was referred by a friend. He said, quote, "She seemed like a very nice girl." His friend, the affliction guy, Tom Atencio, he says, quote, about Justin, "He had suffered quite a few consecutive losses. Fighting was his life, and it wasn't going well for him. I wish I could answer for what happened. I don't know. Justin was a self-made man who literally fought his way to the top. He was a gentle soul who struggled with life. Anyone who grew up under his circumstances would struggle, and unfortunately it got the best of him. He had some personal demons that he couldn't overcome. Fighting was Justin's life, but it just wasn't going well for him. I know he was considering leaving the sport, but Justin was a fighter. I don't know what else he would have done. Justin had a rough life. He was a good kid and was trying to get on the right path. This is a total tragedy, and all you can do is wonder. No one saw this coming in the manner in which it happened." Yeah, but he fucking didn't have to take somebody with him.
Right.
I get that he who knows if he even knew what he was doing, but Jesus Christ, that just sucks, It's one thing to go kill yourself, which is awful, and people, whatever, but don't take other people with you. Also, don't kill yourself, clearly, too, but don't say, well, while I'm at it. That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse, man. Another a friend of his says, quote, he was a tough fighter, but inside he was lovable. He would do anything for his friends. Really sincere, genuine, sweet guy. I still can't believe what happened. His brother said, this is Tim, who's known him forever, probably knows him the best. He said, I still sit here and think about it, and I can't come up with a valid reasoning or answer. My mind is still in a whirl about how something like this could have happened. He says, I would assume technically it would be possible, but he said, he said, I guess it would be possible, but I don't think it's something he could have done. It just doesn't sound like my brother. I just can't see that happening. He's still in denial that he even did it, basically. He said he was always laughing. I've never even heard of him depressed, which, I mean, he probably puts on his best face to talk to his brother. His brother's life's going well. His brother's a marriage therapist.
Really?
Yeah. So his brother, he's got
it together.
He went to college and he did all this shit. It's a totally different path.
He had the potential.
Yeah. His mother says about this, she gave an interview about this whole thing. She said that he told her that he was taking medication, and she was telling him how dumb it was and he had to stop. And she said, quote, he knew he could have talked to any one of us if he was feeling depressed. Tim says, my mom would have traveled out there and they would have bought him a plane ticket and brought him here. We would have done something. She also brings up that he had told her about blackouts he'd been having, and they thought, everyone just figured that was a result of concussions, and they didn't want him to fight anymore. And she says, or the brother says, quote, I just think maybe he kind of blacked out through the whole thing. There's no way he would have been in a good state of mind to do this, which maybe not. No. Who knows? Can't get enough?
Oh, well, I can't.
Stay tuned as more dudes with brain damage kill their wives, because it happens all the fucking time. Yeah. And it's going to keep happening. And, also stay tuned for Chris Benoit eventually. We'll get into that. But this is kind of the MMA version of Chris Benoit there. And if you enjoyed that, you know how you can tell us? Yeah. You can go all the way over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review.
Over at that purple icon?
Purple icon. Yeah. Give us a review. 5 stars would be wonderful. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. Also, Stitcher, same thing. Yeah. We're going to give you the list of all the cities and dates on this tour here in a second for you guys. But also, if you want to do more, go to shutupandgivememurder.com, where you can hear all of this, get all your small town murder and crime and sports information, all of your merchandise, all of your tickets, because they're going to go on sale this week later on. Right. This is how it's going to work, okay? Pre-sale tickets are going to go on sale December 11th and 12th at 10 a.m., whatever your local time is. They go every 10 a.m., okay? The venue pre-sales December 12th at 10 a.m. local. Official regular on sale is Friday the 13th, very appropriate, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Right. Okay? Password for the pre-sale will be posted on our social media and on the website. So that is, it's going to be Small Town Murders. It's at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Check all that out. Shutupandgivememurder.com is the site and like we said, there will be some crime and sports. A couple of these dates are going to be crime and sports dates. We just don't know which ones they're going to be yet. We're going to mix those in there. And if that's confusing, what I just said about the dates and times and all that, look on the site and the website. It will make more sense there. It'll make more sense there. But definitely check that out. Here we go. Here are the dates. February 7th, Denver, Colorado at the Oriental Theater. February 8th, Salt Lake City, Utah, finally. Look at us, Jimmie, going there. At the Depot, buckle your Mormon asses up for that shit. February 15th in Indianapolis. Look at that. Jeez, we haven't been there. People have been asking. At the Egyptian. Yep. February 16th in Louisville. Oh, Louisville, home of fucking... About time. Hunter Thompson, Muhammad Ali, and Jim Cornette. And Louisville. Fucking, yeah, and the Bats. So the 3 of the best mouths that's ever fucking come from there. We're going to go check that out at the Bombard. Bombard? That's terrible. At the Bombard. March 13th and 14th in San Francisco. We'll be at Cobb's both days. So that's a Friday and Saturday night. We're going to be there. 2 shows there. I think we're doing the late show. Is it the later? That's right. I think we're doing the late show. 2 late shows that. So come out and party late night with us in San Francisco. March 27th in Detroit, Michigan at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Hell yeah. March 28th and 29th will be in Cincinnati both days at Bogart's again. Absolutely. Which we had a blast at Bogart's. They were really good to us. Great people. And that just has a good vibe in that room, man. A really good vibe. And one of those might be a Crime in Sports. You never know. April 7th and 8th in Nashville. That's a Crime in Sports and a Small Town Winner. Both of those are sold out, though. May 8th in Austin, Texas at Emo's. May 9th in Oklahoma City. Holy shit, how did that happen? Who booked us in fucking Oklahoma during tornado season?
I think
Smart.
We both signed off on it.
Smart. Tower Theater.
Yep.
May 22nd in Boston, and May 23rd, New York City. We're at the Wilbur in Boston again, which is a beautiful old theater.
So great.
If you stand-up specials from there and everything, it's amazing. We're at Murmur in New York. I think that's in Brooklyn, right?
It is.
Yeah, we're in Brooklyn, so nobody has to come into the fucking city and that huge pain in the ass. You can avoid the island and go to a fucking borough for this one. We did that on purpose for you guys. We know it's a pain in the ass if you live in New York. If you don't live in Manhattan, to go there sucks, basically. June 5th, we're in Seattle, Washington at the Neptune again. That was a good venue last time. Great place. Portland, Oregon, the 6th and 7th of June. We're at the Aladdin both days. That's another possible Crime in Sports.
Could be.
You never know. No asterisk on that one. July 31st in New Orleans.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That's a Joy,
Hot and sticky. Fuck me. I'm staying inside at the Joy. August 1st in Atlanta, back at the Buckhead Theater, which we love. We've been there twice. They're really cool to us. We love it. August 14th in San Jose.
Yeah.
Wow, at the San Jose Improv.
That place is beautiful.
Can't wait for that.
You're going to love it. Chaplin used to play there. It's an old vaudeville theater.
You had me at Legal Weed, Jimmy.
All right.
August 15th, 2020, Sacramento at the Ace of Spades. September 11th, post-September 11th. We're in Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Improv, back again.
That was all pre-9/11.
Yeah.
This right here, post 9/11.
That'll be 2 shows, by the way, at the Tampa Improv on a Friday night. And then the next day, September 12th in Orlando, 2 shows at the Orlando Improv.
Great.
So one of those might be a Crime in Sports.
I could see that.
That could happen. September 25th, San Diego at the Observatory. That's where we were this year. I think that was good shit.
It was fun.
September 26th in LA. They're still working out the venue. It's good. We're working on a comedy club, though. We don't want some shitty. That venue sucked this year.
It was tough,
hot
man.
as fuck in there.
Boy, was it hot.
Neighborhood was a mess.
Bookended with what?
With liquor stores and gold stores.
And gun shops.
Gun
That's crazy.
shops and food.
Well, no gun shops because it's fucking California.
It was liquor stores and gold shops.
And bail bonds.
And bail bonds. That's the whole neighborhood. We're looking at also September 27th at the Brea Improv out there. October 9th, Washington, D.C. at the Fillmore. October 10th up in Philly at the Fillmore there. So double Fillmore action. Double Fillmore penetration, everybody.
Could be a porno.
Could be. October 22nd, 2020 in San Antonio.
Yep.
Holy shit. Laugh out loud. How the fuck did that happen? October 24th, 2020 in Dallas. That's going to happen. We like Dallas at the Majestic.
That's a nice theater.
It's beautiful.
It's so big.
Fucking go. Yeah, you guys better buy tickets for that. It's a big theater. Don't embarrass us over there. October 25th, 2020, Houston at the Houston Improv again. They wanted to put us in a theater and we said, you know what? That was a fucking great room and we're going to play it again. Houston Improv. November 6th in Milwaukee at the Pabst. That's a big room too.
Yeah.
You guys got to buy tickets for that shit. That's a big one. November 7th.
What the
hell is going on there?
Stop calling that.
What do you have? Some emergency alert thing?
Yeah.
Jimmy has an emergency alert on his phone. He had his phone off. The ringer's been off.
Yeah.
And he just got some weird emergency.
My daughter keeps calling, so I'm sending it to voicemail. And I hit it too many times.
And it was calling
it was calling 911.
It was telling you it was calling 911 on you. So
it's
telling you, call it 911 because this list just shows it's too hot. It's too hot, Jimmy. It's going to burst into flames.
That's the Barrymore. Did you say that?
We got a fire down here. Everybody at the Barrymore in Madison, Wisconsin. November 19th, 2020, the Munhall. That's Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, right.
Pittsburgh at the Carnegie of Homestead Music Hall. I think that's what it's called. And there, so it's a bigger venue in Pittsburgh because that sold out so fast. Not a lot of people didn't get to go that wanted to go last year. We felt bad. November 20th in Cleveland for some reason at Hilarities. That fucking town's a shithole.
We're coming back to you. We're going to come hate ourselves with you.
Fuck me. Jesus Christ. November 21st, 2020 in Columbus. Nice little town there at the Davidson. Is that what we played last time?
It is.
That was a nice theater. Yeah. Really nice.
It's where the governor's
upstairs. And, December 4th in Minneapolis back at the Pantages, which we played last time.
It's fantastic.
Great theater.
It's
and
so
then
big.
Finally, we're going to close it out like we always do.
Yeah.
Chicago.
You betcha.
Kind of our adopted hometown here. That'll be number 5. Chicago's our biggest audience in Chicago. Right. They come out to the live shows like crazy. We love them at the Athenaeum again, where we were this year in Chicago. So check that out, pre-sale and all that shit. Buy your tickets to that and everything like that. Follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. If you want to be a hero to the show, like these people we're going to talk about in a second, and be one of our producers, good God, it's so easy to do. Really easy. You just go to patreon.com/crimeandsports and you can make a donation there, or you can head over to PayPal, use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Right.
And you can make a one-time donation if you want. Lots of ways to do it. Either way, good God, we're blown away by every cent you give us, and we it's just amazing, honestly. We can't thank you guys enough for everything you do for us, whether it's coming to live shows, even supportive everything. It's just fucking amazing. Honestly, you guys make us feel like how we feel on the inside is so bad. So how you guys make us like you lift us up. Put it that way.
Making James say shit like this is
it's hard.
Amazing.
I don't do it very often, but thank you, because you guys really have changed our lives completely. And I would like to hear a list of the people that have helped do that, Jimmy. Is that possible?
It's possible.
Is it possible?
Can
you slap it on me like a rear naked triangle guillotine submission thing of some kind?
I'm going to put this in you like some morphidone.
Do it to me now. Twat Squad Titsicle.
This week's executive producers are Nilu Rafsanjani, Tanya Volanek, Robin Bell Reed, and it's Rob Manrahan and Bell Reed. They were the ones from Australia that came to the show that missed the meet and greet because the
ridiculous.
But the whatever, you get the point.
We were not told that you were there. Put it that way. If you were, trust me, if someone crosses a fucking ocean to see us, we'll talk to them.
I got no problem saying hello.
Super happy. We'll go out of our way to go find you and bring you in.
I've done it twice.
No one fucking asked us that. Can you imagine somebody coming up and going, hey, we have 2 people. They flew all the way from Australia. Will you talk to them? Us going, fuck no.
Did they buy a meet and greet? Yeah. We got places to be.
No. We had nowhere to go. We were fine. We would have absolutely done that.
The rest of the executive producers are Brielle Chapman. I think that's Chapman. It is. Gary Howard, Kristen Parker, Kyle Carson, Michelle Ann Gant, Sabrina Crawford, Casey. Damn it, Casey. I'm a terrible writer, and your last name is Tomten. That's it. Tomten. Jordan Bennett, Jana Gilbertson, and Andrew Hertig. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Bob Holscher was supposed to be at our Chicago show, and he passed away.
No.
And did not make it. But
that's terrible.
Faisal wanted us to say hello. So sorry. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah,
do we say that? I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
We missed you.
It sucks that Bob died.
Yeah,
that's what
I wish we would have been able to meet you, Bob.
Yeah,
and he loved the show. He was a big fan. Darren Mihal and Jessica Soap celebrated their 1-year anniversary, and they met through our show.
That's amazing.
Congratulations, you two. And they came up from Florida. So
cool. Thanks
for coming to the show. Jesse Hartman, Emily Smith, Monica Lee Wolfenberger, Anthony Canella, Purple Carrot Designs, Jen Snedecker, Tracy Renninger, Stephen Rude, Gail Smith, Jessica Christensen. They're the ones that had the daughter Joey. Joey, I got to give it to you too. Yeah. I got to show it to you. Joey made us a thank you card.
Oh, that's so cool.
For us telling her.
I can't wait.
For sending her. We sent her a message, right?
Yeah.
A video.
We were talking.
And we talked to her on the show.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we did that, but we talked about her on the show.
We cared.
Yeah.
I know we gave a shit that
and
Joey
she
made a
sent
quick
us
recovery.
a little card. That's
so nice.
Trina McElroy, Sonny Johansson, Lauren Demarath, Shy Moon, Liz Krajewski, Deanna Grimes, Andrea Webster, Caitlin Williams, Peyton Meadows, Mark Foster, Joshua Jean, Liz Vasquez, who got ripped off and still made the show because of Gary Howard.
Hey, cool. Thank you. Yeah, and thanks, Gary, too.
Absolutely. Kelly Higby, Barbara Drabino, Drabina, Nate, Nick's father. I think that's what that was. I believe so. Nate Ward, James Martyr, Emily Irvin, Alicia Wanglin. Yep, Mark Davis, Janet Cunningham, Ashley with no last name, who said that she was looking forward to my shout out specific for her, that her last name's really easy, and then she didn't provide it.
It's just that's really easy.
Jimmie, pronounce my last name. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I won't
so now
tell
I have to guess. It's Ashley Smith or Ashley Norton? Probably Norton. I'm guessing.
Well, thank you, Ashley.
Janet Cunningham. Mark Davis said that. Reagan Shalkley, Taurine Moore, Lacey M, Lisa Ramos, Thomas Smith, Anthony Perez, Jeremiah Manchester, Susanna Platt, Cohen McPherson, Trent Holloman, Sharon Schmidt, Emma Pippinger, Paul Ruest, Brian Case, Ronnie Kumar, Linda, Mary, with no last name, obviously, Mary Marler, Krista Walker, Tabitha Colwell, Liz Baum, Tyler Gwill, NAMC 775. I don't know.
All right.
But that's
thank you.
I doubt their mom named them that. Trent Ellis, Jeremy Bethune, he donated twice, both ways. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ron Bosch, Bosch, B-O-S-C-H, like the fucking
Bosch.
windshield wipers and the German stuff.
Yeah.
Sonia Smith, Angela Hewer, Alexis with no last name, Matthew Shannon, Benjamin Langlowis, Jason Mark Erickson, Tyler Sheldon, Rex Salisbury, Noah Del Duca, Jody Porter, Stephen Southward, Sam and Wendy Stockard, Jessica Smith, Abdul Jan, Amanda Knight, Catherine Moses, Rosie Mitchell, Amber Elizabeth, Ava Hahn. Is it Ava? It is Ava Hahn. Corey Kano, Kimberly Walsh, Steve Brown. That's Brown. Hey. Damn it. Greta Triber, Nadia Lee, Michelle Wallace, Rachel Hitchcock, Ava Payne, Neely Niels. Jesus. Oh. Neely Niels. She sure does. What the shit? Melanie Kelly, Kimberly J, Brian Case, Casey Parker, Jen Severs, Kimberly Walsh. Did I say that like 7 times?
I don't know. Well, thank you, Kimberly Walsh.
Kristen Tracy, Lauren Schulte. Yeah. Travis Mays, James Pearson, Tracy Donovan, Melinda Klug, Amanda Knight, Jason Dingus, Harold Testes Jr. Probably not.
Maybe not.
They got me, though.
Possibly.
They got me to say it, so good for you. Eric Kuhn, Courtney Anemone, Anemone, right? I think.
I don't fucking know.
Mike Ingram, Janet Cross Drennan, Amanda Webb, Sarah West, Liz Brunner, Jennifer King, Celia Stevens, Jillian Elizabeth, Heather Matt Kinnan, Sharon Harvey, Jason O'Hearn, Matthew LaRose, Caitlin Hanrahan, Shauna Hensley, Kirsten with no last name, Amy Price, Moira Bassich, Basic. She's not basic.
No.
I wouldn't call her that.
Hell no.
Probably basic. Courtney Lampshire, Brian Riley, Brielle Douthright, Aaron Switzer, Adam Roberts, Cameron Woodward, Gordon Bennett, David Smart, Sarah Thompson, Ashley Baxter, Yaviani Lorenzo, John Hackstein, Jennifer Thompson, Will Broning, Adam, so many Adams that I've called Amber, Adam Schneider, Ryan Hansen, Nico Esparza, Kurt Johnson, Michael Myers, the masked serial killer is
Sweet.
what the thing said. It's probably not.
He does one good thing with himself, then. Give us money. Thank you.
Destiny Burns, Jess Eidson, and all of our Patreon supporters. You guys do amazing things for us. We wish we could say more than just thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. God, that list is fucking people are amazing on there.
And so many recurring. Just you guys are so great at
you're the best, man.
Coming to our rescue. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything. And Jimmie, what if they wanted to get a hold of you and say a little something? How could they do that?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Where are you?
I am at Jimmie P is funny, or just copy my last name and name from the show description. Find me that way because you're not going to be able to spell it. But that said, guys, thanks for hanging out with us for a weird episode here and all the porn names and everything like that. We appreciate you hanging for that.
So much pornography. We're going to keep going. We are going to be taking off Christmas week for Crime and Sports.
Yes. So that week, I think it's December 23rd.
It's 2 weeks away. Yeah.
Is that day. We're not going to, or 22nd it would be, because it would be Christmas Eve it would come out.
Right. It's 2 weeks away.
We're not doing that.
No.
We're not going to release an episode on Christmas Eve because no one will fucking listen to it.
Or is it 3 weeks?
Either way,
I think
it doesn't matter. I think it's 2 weeks, but yeah, it's 2 weeks. But we're not going to release that. So there'll be an episode next week, and then none the week after. So that's how that'll work. And then we'll be back in the new year, or actually by like December 29th or whatever it is, 30th,
right before
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We'll release one for that so you guys can not listen to it while you do other things. But we're gluttons for punishment. We're gluttons for punishment. We'll keep it going. And that said, Jesus, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus